welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another weekend edition of the WardiTV Monday, number 37, the post DreamHack Dallas edition. It's great to be here, great to be back. Of course, I'm of course just like VIP with you. I'm joined by these amazing players, by the people in the chat, and by my plushies as well. Welcome, one and all, to your weekly dose of WardiTV Monday, or Open StarCraft action. Again, this is the post DreamHack edition. We just wrapped up with a very intense weekend of DreamHack, and you know what that means? That means everyone is traveling. All the Koreans, all the Europeans, everyone is traveling, which means it's time for MaxPax to clean house. It's time for MaxPax to show up and win all the money, papi. Here we go. This morning, in the bottom left-hand corner of Ultra Love, we have the Chinese Terran player, the Red Terran. It is Oriana. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Zerg player, the Platinum Heroes player, representing for the land of the UK. It is Eba. Let's go. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is? It is Gamma time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat, as we are back in the cast on the casting couch. We're back on the casting couch. Of course, yesterday we had more of like a co-stream experience where we weren't necessarily casting, necessarily more like reacting or like adding, supplementing to the cast that was taking place. Here we can jump right on into our ZBT again, post DreamHack. I'm still recovering from the DreamHack weekend, not gonna lie. I slept all day but the show must go on, you know. After an intense weekend like that, after like 2 days of 15-hour cast, and yesterday, which was an 8-hour cast, you know, we have more StarCraft, we have WardiTV Monday, we have Pigastar Monday, we have the May Mayhem, we have KSL, we have the Podcast, we have more May Mayhem, we just so much StarCraft. GSL, of course, is this week, the EWC qualifiers, which we do have to add to our schedule as well. That is also going to be an intense part of the schedule of the broadcast. So there's a lot going on. There's obviously a lot that's going to be going on, but here we go. We're going to be calming things down and settling into our TVZ. For now, Hatchcast will send the opener out of Eba, is going for a story base. Oriana is in position to delay, to try to deny. Back at home, we do have a standard opener out of Oriana as well. Is anyone inspired by what happened over the weekend? Again, when it comes to the builds, when it comes to the play, there wasn't anything that was too out of the norm, or nothing new that was showcased. Everything that was seen previously. Mara, for example, a lot of his play was emulating, or if not, replicating that which he showed in GSL. Likewise, Shin showing off what he did likewise during the majority of his time online when it comes to online tournaments. But regardless, now more people have gotten eyes on this play, and now that's going to be a little bit more. There's going to be a little bit more awareness when it comes to certain builds, like ARAX's, like 2-base all-ins and TVP, and of the sort. So we'll see how people do adjust, people do adapt, people do embrace. Outside of that, of course, we do have our third TC for Starport economic opener here out of Oriana. So far so good. I haven't casted Oriana in a long time. I miss him, papi. I miss my Oriana. For those that don't know, Oriana, he used to be he's a Chinese Terran player. He used to be a regular in our tournaments in Grand Platypus Open, which was our regional event, which was regional to the Asia region, including China, of course. And he used to be a regular in our tournaments. Of course, nowadays we no longer that event is discontinued. We no longer host the Grand Platypus Open. Feels bad, man. And as a result, again, Oriana has been less active in our tournaments, but he's here today, and I've been watching Oriana from afar, in the sense that I've seen and noticed and taken note of Oriana in a lot of online tournament results, specifically the Chinese regional weeklies and the Chinese team leagues as well. And Oriana is back on that horse. He's looking and improving once again. So we'll see how he compares to Eba. I do want to say they are probably comparable in skill, but it's hard to gauge because they often don't play against each other. They're from different regions, and as I was mentioning, Oriana often mainly plays in only regional online tournaments, less so these open cups. So it's a rarity to see him out of WardiTV Monday, and I'm excited to cover it. I'm excited to cuss him. But now we do have a faster lair, 415 lair, very fast lair timing out of Eba. Okay, faster than normal. We'll see what the plan is here for our Zerg player. Likewise, the queens are going to be rotating, going to be keeping up. Behind this, add-on swap going for stim. We are not going for Banshee play. Interesting. We're going to our 3-1-1 setup, checking out production here. We went Liberator first, not Viking. Liberator into his bio play. Let's go. We'll see if Oriana can tear Eba apart. Liberator towards the natural. Likewise, Hellions towards that front door, but the queens are keeping up. So far, so good. And the queens are keeping up. The queens are holding on. Liberator into the natural. And so far, EV does maintain his position. So far, so good. He's maintaining, he's holding on. We have more links on the way. And again, I'm curious to see what is done with the lair. Are we going into a fast spire? Are we going to take gases? Right now, mining is being denied quite heavily here at the natural, actually. The queen having a hard time keeping up. There was no spore in position, and the other queens are busy by the Hellions. And we're going for an all-in. Ah, there we go. We're going for a Ling Queen Nidus all-in. That does make now sense. I was curious, what was the lair going to be for, especially without all these gases? Well, there's only one logical choice. It has to be the Nidus. So I should have gone there a little bit faster, but again, I'm still waking up. So I do apologize. Hellions are going to be cleaned up. They're going to be shut down. Finally, eBay, he has control of his side of the map, but again, he has been heavily delayed due to the denied mining here at the natural base. Back at home, though, Oriana is none the wiser. What do you have to defend? We have one tank on the high ground. We have a couple of Marines popping out. We have more Raxes on the way, but where is the vision? Overlord does have vision of the main. Ooh, and the main base, depending on the positioning here of the Nidus Swarm, the tank might be within range. Ooh, barely out of vision. Barely out of range, I should say. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, the Nidus is going to finish up. Again, the tank was only one hex to the right. If only it was to the left. There we go. There's the Unsiege trying to reposition. But last a little too late. The Nidus does complete. Lings and Queens are flooding on out. And Eva, he's going for the all-in. How many Queens? 9. Jesus. 9 Queens here for Eva. Lings, they flood into the main. They're going for the Queens. The Queens, sorry, they're going for the tanks. So first tank does go down. But the Queens are having a hard time engaging. There's still one tank behind this. They take down the Liberator. Nicely done. Liberator does go down, but the Marines, they do hold the ground. And they hold their ground. Tank volley's going off as well. Do we have any more transfuse? Creep is spreading. But the tank is standing strong here. Yeah, Oriana, he's holding. He's holding on at this point. Massive tank shots going off. The Queens on their own. They cannot do enough damage. They're going to be forced back. More Lings flooding in. Another tank has arrived. Does annihilate the MinRein. Okay, MinRein goes down, but GG gets called. Oriana holds, Oriana defends, and Oriana takes game number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. Again, the all-in was delayed and was stifled. God damn. Was delayed and was stifled thanks to the damage that was being dealt at the natural base, of course. But yeah, with that we did see that Eva just barely did not have enough to break that tank, to break into the main base. Likewise, Eva is also letting me know they accidentally joined up a little bit too much as well when it came to trying to execute that all-in. Just made some too many workers towards the end there, or towards the center, most likely because of all the harassment that was going on. And with that, just did not have enough army to break through. GG. GG, well played. With that, we're getting into game number 2, and we'll see if Eva can recover, bounce back. We'll see if Oriana can claim the series. Let's go. Let's go. As we are jumping into game 2. After this, we'll be hopping on over to the brackets to catch up on what has been going on, to catch up on the other players and the rest of the bracket itself. Queen's Lings only. Yes, it's a Ling Queen Nidus all-in. I mean, it is a build. It is. I mean, Shin was able to pull this off during DreamHack as well. No Baileys, just pure Ling Queen Nidus all-in. Unfortunately, just the numbers weren't there. As you mentioned, Eva did overdrone, so made too many workers, not enough Lings, not enough to commit to set all-in. But regardless, GG. GG, well played. Oriana, he holds nicely. Again, it was fortunate that he was somewhat set up in the main race, somewhat, with his tanks and with his bio. Likewise, again, because the Liberator harass, he did heavily delay the income here of Eva. And it might not sound like a big deal when you're going for an all-in, but really when you're going for an all-in, your income is in some way even that much more important, just because your income is going to be that much more limited, and it's going to be that much more precise and that much more concise when it comes to what you need to commit. To improve. There we go. Here we go. We're getting into our next game. Here we go. As we're getting into game number 2, game 2 is going to be on Persephone. Interesting. Okay, one of the more aggressive maps in the map pool, but we'll see what our players have in store for us here. Oh boy. As Eva, he's given us a bit of a tease as to what's going to occur. As morning in the top left hand corner here of Persephone, we have the Chinese Terran player, the Red Terran, leading the series 1-0. It is Oriana. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Zerg player, the blue Zerg player himself from the land of the UK, representing the Platinum Heroes. It is Eva. Let's go. Gonna be quick as well with your transfuse on links. You don't transfuse links when you're going for that kind of all-in. It's just a numbers game. When it comes to hitting as fast as possible, hitting as hard as possible with your of course with your link flood. As you mentioned, there were less links than normal, than should have been there for said all-in. But here we go. We'll see what Eba has in store for us this time. I have an inkling that he does plan on playing Roach this time, but we'll see, basically, we were having a short discussion about DreamHack Dallas just before this game, talking about Shin, talking about some of his more unique builds that he was showcasing. Of course, Shin, something that he is known for, something that he did bring to the table when it came to the series against Clem, was going for these Roach-based openers, these gasless styles. There we go, hatch, pull, delayed gases. So these more gasless openers here, delayed gas into Roach play, into Infestation Pit, into Hive Tech, into Ultras. I'm not too confident about the effectiveness of that style here on Persephone. Persephone is a bit of a more aggressive map in the map pool, so Oriana, he's going to be at the advantage when it comes to applying pressure, when it comes to trying to break Eba before he can really get into his final form. We'll see if Eba can pull off the defense. We'll see if Eba can, survive the early to mid game and get into that Hive Tech. Assuming that he is going to go Roaches. I mean, based on the opener, it does look to be the case. Just because the gases are delayed, but we'll keep an eye on Eba. So now we have our standard opener. Reaper moves out. Reaper does move out. So far, standard play out of Oriana. Does move in. Also, shout out to Oriana, of course, as well for holding for defending the last game. Again, I do rate Oriana quite highly. I mean, I said at the start of the series how I do feel like both Eba and Oriana are relatively close in skill, but it's hard to fully judge just because I'm sure it's been a long time since they've played against each other. Again, Oriana's one of the most active player when it comes to these more international events, these more global tournaments. As we have our CC on the high ground, going for a third CC for Starport. Economic opener here out of Oriana. Likewise, Eba is also just droning, saturating, soon to be claiming a third base. For now, staying on 2 bases a little bit longer here. Staying on 2 bases longer. Saturating is natural. We do have a second Rax on the way. 3 CC 211. Okay, a very heavy commitment into bio here by Oriana. This is going to be stim timing. A stim timing here. Meanwhile, Lair at 3 minutes. Very early Lair timing here out of Eba. Even earlier than last game, but this time with Roaches, which makes more sense. As we mentioned, we're skipping link speed. We're skipping link speed with that extra gas that we otherwise would have had on link speed. We can afford that Lair. We can afford that Roach one, and we can afford Roaches. And if you recall at the start of this game, I did mention how we did feel like Roach play was probably going to be on the table here for Eba, and the goal here should not be to all in, but to survive, defend, tech up as well. We'll see how aggressive he's going to be with this. Oh, as Reaper does go down, check the vision Oriana, he does get eyes on the Lair, but I'll be honest, I kind of like the idea of this 2-on-1 here. Roach play, this kind of Roach setup here is designed to shut down Hellion Banshee aggression, I should say, but that's not really going to be happening. At the most, we should be cutting Hellions at 4. And we cut Hellions at 2. So 2 Hellions, that's all that there is. Then switch into the reactor on the racks, not on the factory, into stim, into a heavy marine army. This should be hitting a timing with 16 marines and 2 medevacs. Basically, the factory is only used to make add-ons. The factory made the reactor, factory is making another reactor, into add-on swap, into medevac production. So the factory is on add-on duty, basically. And we're just fixated on building up as many marines as we can. As there's that add-on swap. The Overseer does confirm the 2-1-1, so nice scout here by Eba. Now he's aware of the stim timing that's coming, so Eba, he has the information he needs. And now it's about surviving. Now, Carapace is going to be really crucial here. Carapace, especially against a fire-heavy composition, is a really important upgrade, as Carapace is applied to every single attack that the Marine makes. So because the attack rate of the Marine is very high, Carapace is that much more valuable, that much more effective. So carapace is going to be crucial. We're building up roaches. We're taking the third base. Going to be saturating it as well. Again, it's a bit of a slower start here from Iba, but it's a more defensive play. Like, he's being a little more defensive here. And now it comes down to the execution. Now it comes down to, can Iba keep up with the Hellions? And can he, as he does take down one, and can he keep up with the drop play, more importantly? And here we go. So it's not going to be 16, it's going to be 14. You can see here that we're missing 2. So 14 Marines, 2 Medevacs. Stim is done. And we're looking for Overlords, looking for the main base, dropping into the main. Queens are in position. Roaches have to rotate. Queens are here to bide some time. Iba does respond. The Queens, they back off. There's the first Stim. It does have the Queens are transfused. Yeah, there's no NG. 1, 2, 3 Queens go down. Massive pickoffs. Does not get the final Queen, but already a very strong start here for Oriana. Doesn't do any economic damage, but did almost reset the Queen count. With that, only 1 Queen. There's only 1 Queen left, so injects are limited. Queens have to be rebuilt. We have the infestation pit on the way. And again, this pit should be for safety infestors. Bear that in mind. It should be for safety infestors, maybe 1 or 2 infestors, and then hive tech. And remember, what upgrades are we going for? +1 melee. We spoke earlier. Roach into ultras. That is the end game. That is the goal here of this build, is to rush into hive and rush into ultras as quickly as possible. Iba, can he get there? Because until then, he is vulnerable. And that's what the infestors are for. Now again, you want to make only 1 or 2, and you have to hold on to that fungal, and you have to make it count. You cannot miss, you cannot whiff. The goal is to lock down the bio army and survive and defend with the bare minimum. Oh, Marines, they stim in. They get 1, they get 2. 2 drones go down. Oriana does pull away. So far, Iba, he's keeping up. Did lose all his queens earlier, but he is slowly rebuilding. Hive is halfway done at this point. Hive is halfway done. There we go, double drop in the main. Iba is keeping up. Oh, Oriana going for the double drop. Iba getting torn apart here. Being dragged into the main. Drones are going down. Oriana moving in, Iba out of position. Has split off the army. Trying to keep up. Another queen. Ooh, almost goes down. And so far, so good. Iba, he does take some losses. In total, he's lost 9 drones. Ay. Losing a lot of workers, but there it is. Hive is done. Here comes that Ultra Cannon. He's almost there. Iba, he's almost there. He's almost at Ultras. He just needs a little bit more time. Meanwhile, Oriana across the map going for 4cc. So Oriana, he's not 8-raxing. Not 8-raxing. He is macroing, but the push is real. The push is massive. And again, Iba, he has to make these fungals count. Now, unfortunately, because the queen count was reset earlier, there's barely any creep. The creep here is lacking because the queens were sniped. And Oriana is going straight for the natural. The tank positioning here is going to be brutal. Ay. Yeah, +2 is going to be denied. Iba rushing on over. Oh, nice fungal, but we need more. Does go for the chain fungals. The fungals deal with the Marine army quite nicely, actually. Now moving in, plows down the first tank, another fungal as well, and Iba holds. Whew. Iba does hold on, takes down the tanks, takes down the Marines. Did cost him +2 carapace, unfortunately. That was the most important upgrade, so it is going to be missing +2, but he does survive, he does hold. He shuts down Oriana, and thankfully, Oriana isn't 8-raxing, Oriana is expanding, so Oriana's not rallying across the map. So Iba, he has room to breathe, and here they come. Ultras. 4 ultras. This is where he power spike. Like, the power spike for Iba is almost there. He's waiting for kind of plating. 2 upgrades. Remember, +2 carapace is going to be delayed, but there's going to be 5 ultras here for Iba. As he's moving out. Yo, getting chopped up by the healing pad. Let's go. Healing pad does support him. Oriana still has that drop. Spotted by Iba. Does get spotted. Oh, very nice fuggles, but barely misses. Yeah, a little bit off there with that, with those piles. And that's a little bit dangerous just because his fungals are limited. Remember, only 3 infestors. He only has 1 fungal left. Like, has to be careful with how and when he does use him. And he has to wait for kind of plating. Ideally, this sits with +2, but remember, +2 carapace is heavily delayed. Double jump across the map. Iba's out of position. Uh-oh. And there's a brutal siege line of tanks. Eba, I don't think he can break this. Likewise, drop here back at home. Eba, he races back home, completely out of position. Another queen goes down. Oof. Yeah, and Eba, he has to go all the way back. The drones are going down. Again, Eba could not break this. Right now, Orianna is pretty heavily turtled up. Orianna going for the hive. Oh my god. Won't quite get it. Hive does survive. Orianna dropping in. And you can also see the biggest weakness of this style. One, you do hit with ultras real fast and real hard. That is true. But what are you lacking? You're lacking anti-air. You're lacking a Spire. You're lacking a Hydronet. So this is where drop play can really get frustrating, just because there's no way to deal with it outside of Vipers. That's how you typically would, is that you would make a couple of Vipers and then you have Power Bombs. It's not the most ideal anti-air, but that's what you have available. Is Parasitic Bombs and Fungal Growths. Meanwhile, we do see Orianna move out. We're going for a base trade. Pushing into the siege line. There's a massive line of tanks. Oh god, I mean, the ultras are quite tanky. Can we break through? Ultras moving in. Nice fungal here on the bio. Infestors pull away. And Eba, he's breaking through, but at the same time, base is going to be going down. We're going for the base trade. But Eba, he does turn around. Eba is trying to race back home, trying to defend. The base does fall. Eba running into the planetary. Does get into the mineral lines. SCVs are going down. But these bio drops here from Orianna, they can snipe bases, they can keep going. EB has to make a decision. What's going on? What's the plan? Clutch Chance Fuse, the one ultra, let's go. Clutch Chance Fuse. EB trying to hold on, at the same time going in for the kill. Oh, the infestors are left idle. EB, he cannot quite push into the main, not like this. He needs a fungal. A decent fungal grazes the army. Do we have another? Not quite. Yeah, not quite. Eva pulls away, another ultra goes down. At the same time, that drop is still getting out of hand, getting another expansion. And as the dust settles, where exactly are we? Eva, he's on 2 bases. Eva, he's stuck on 2 bases. He's stuck on 45 workers. At the same time, oh, nice fungal. Another good fungal. Eva catching out the army. Yo, landed Vikings, they take down one of the ultras. Eva pushing in, tank is on siege. Tank is on siege, and the natural base may go down. Orianna trying to break out of the supply block, but the supply is going to be shut down. Moltres coming in. Nice fungal here in the Vikings. Biles connect as well. And there's one more fungal. Ooh, does connect. That's with the Biles. Oh my god, the Biles connect as well. There's 3 ultras. Sorry, 5 ultras. And Eva, it's a messy game. But Eva, he barely breaks through. He breaks through, cleans up the army. Gets us over the production, infests it out of energy. There's maybe 1 fungal. Yeah, there's 1 fungal remaining. Beaver's done it. Eba, he has done it just barely. He lost everything across the map again. It was a messy game. But Eba, he cleans everything up. Liberation has arrived. Uh-oh. We spoke about the lack of anti-air. And with that, Orianna holds. Orianna does hold on. Oof. Ultra's going to be going down. Eba, he's stuck on a 2-base economy. That's generous. He's really stuck on a 1-base economy. At the same time, Orianna, everything's on fire. Orianna is on a 1-base economy himself. Orianna, he has better saturation here. Eba is long distance mining. We're getting messy. We're getting Ronaldinho. Well, not Ronaldinho, I should say. But again, that planetary does stand strong. Ghost Academy is done. Orianna, tech-wise, is ahead. Has access to Liberators, tanks, ghosts. Ling Ultra cannot break this. Ling Ultra cannot break this. So Eva has to retreat and has to redrone, resaturate. We might end up in a more longer standard game from here. And both players have to recover. Unfortunately, Eva's out on the map. No, the drop play. He's coming back in. The drops. Oh, it's going to be a kill, not a cancel. Eba once again racing back home. Nice fungal. Oh. Files a zone. They're buying tile. No, the infestor. Get out of here. No, the infestor goes down. The infestor goes down. Eba racing back. Oh. He's holding on. But again, that was an expensive loss for Eba. Now we get the Viper on the way. As we did mention, Vipers are going to be the only way for Eba to deal with drops. Jeez, that's a lot of drops. Yo, the Spore putting in work. Okay. Spores putting in work. The first Viper has arrived. We have a couple of infestors on the way that will help as well. Meanwhile, Eva is re-expanding. We have 3 bases here for Orianna, 3 bases for Eva. Eva trying to get a 4th. Orianna moving in. Oof. As there's that power bomb. Nice reaction here by Orianna. The fungal though does connect. Still very tense. There we go. Another Viper's on the way. More NGs being gathered. So we do have a low speed. We have +3 carapace. Like the upgrades are there for both players. Orianna's on 3-3. But Orianna does have another base. And Orianna can always lift the main. He can always just lift on the main base if need be. Orianna, I would say, is in a better position here. But I don't want to count Eva out. Like, even though Orianna has access to a lot of tech and ghosts and a superior army, because of the potential of fungals and parasitic bombs, I go to believe that Eva can take a fight, can catch the drops, can shut down a bunch of supply. It's not going to be easy, but it is possible. So Eva's army has a lot of potential. And Orianna's just turtling. This is the correct move for Orianna to just turtle and to max out. He's keeping all of his tanks at home, the Liberators at home as well. He's only moving out with drop play. Now the Medivacs are still very low. Again, like one well-placed power bomb or fungal can shut this down. Orianna simming in. Now it's deflected. Eva, he now spots the expansion. Oh! Gets a couple of powers. Nicely done. Gets 1, 2 Medivacs. 3. 3 Medivacs go down. Very nice damage. Again, Medivacs are quite limited here for Orianna. I mean, units in general. There's the main base. We did mention the main base is floating over. Orianna is going to have a booming economy. Oh, the Wiles. Another Medivac. Eva shutting Orianna down. Eva needs another base. There we go. Another base gets him running. Eva, he does spot the main base that's floated over. Now, Eva can try to strike specifically this location, this area, because we're spread thin. Look at this. We have 3 tanks and Liberator that are over on the right-hand side that won't help in the defense, but Orianna, he notices. He's rotating. Yeah, he's rotating. Now securing himself here. And breaking this kind of setup on Persephone, it's not going to be easy. Like, unfortunately, these ramps, they're so narrow. These choke points here, they work against the aggressing player. Pushing up here. I mean, we're going for it. Going for the powerbomb. Takes out another Medivac. He's committing in. Eva pushing into the siege line. Do we have any blinding clouds? We do. Nice blinding cloud on the tanks. 3 tanks going to be going down. Do we fungal? Not quite. There we go. Nice fungal. Bailey's a crash in. Ghost going to be going down. He gets 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ghosts. Oh my god. Takes out 5 ghosts. A very nice fight here from Eva. Ooh. Very nicely done. Does not have enough to break through, but he trades very well. I say that. Please add his spellcasters. Did he lose all of them? He did. Liberator goes out towards the end. The army's overstimmed. I want to say that was a better fight for Eva, but as I mentioned, with the units tab, no infestors left, no Vipers left. It did cost Eva every single one of his spellcasters, and he almost broke through. Like, if the Biles were maybe placed elsewhere to connect with Liberator, to connect with the tanks, then maybe he could have broken this position. Regardless, Eva, he has to back off. But he did almost reset the tank count and Liberator count. Like, he got a lot of really cool pickoffs, really key pickoffs, and he got 5 ghosts. Eva, he's like 5 ghosts. Another drops moving out. Eva, somewhat in position. Once again, the creep is lacking as the queen count has been very low this game. Meanwhile, drop into the 4th. I guess 5th. Eva, he does defend. Does hold, does defend. Here we go. Infestors on the way. Vipers are on the way. Again, these spellcasters, they're like the backbone of Eva's army. Really. No, it's not the ultras. It's the fungals and the power bombs and the blinding clouds. Meanwhile, Orianna, once again, he's just re-securing this position. So Oriana should be maxing out, and he should just be contain or just fortifying himself here. Oriana taking the base on the right hand side is going to be difficult, so taking a 6th base is going to be difficult here for Oriana, but his 5 base setup is very secure. Now the ghost count, only 1 ghost. So Oriana, he's been late to rebuild his ghost, which is a little bit scary. So his ghost count is very low. Oriana clearing up creep. Eva trying to respond. Bailing speed is halfway done. Bailing speed, yeah, that was also not a part of that fight earlier. That was a bit of an oversight. This is maybe a one-way trip here for Oriana. If we can lock this down with some power bombs, we have some anti-air as well. Let's go. There we go. There's a fungal. There's a power bomb as well. And yeah, this drop is going to be completely cleaned up. Nice trades there by Eva. Likewise, this ultra can be topped up by the healing pad. Yo, let's go. The healing pad. Honestly, really important here for certain key units. It does help mech, it does help Protoss, and does help units like ultras quite a bit. Just because they have so much HP. So the value is there. Every ultra counts. You know, Oriana's maxed, so is Eva. Now, when it comes to the maxed out armies, let's have a look here at our spellcasters. We have 6 ghosts for Oriana. We have 1 infestor, 1 viper. Ooh, the lack of spellcasters is concerning. We did mention that the way that Eva takes fights here are with his spellcasters, are with his fungals, are with his blinding clouds, with his power bombs. With only 2 spellcasters, with only 1 infestor, 1 viper, it's going to be difficult. Because of this, Eva needs to trade. He needs to trade, needs to free up some supply to actually rebuild. I say that he has actually invested quite heavily into these corruptors. There are a handful of liberators for them, but we'll see how much use they can get out of them. Eva classing in the army. Now, when I say he needs to rely on his spellcasters, that is the case if he wants to try to break these positions and push into these siege lines. If Oriana pushes out onto the map, then Eva, he can surround and he can brute force a good fight. He can flank the army, collapse in, catch Oriana off guard. There are other ways for Eva to approach this. True. But likewise, it's still a lot riding on the shoulders of this one infestor. Like, it's there's so much pressure on this little guy. No. Gotta land that fungal. Meanwhile, fusion core is on the way. That's going to be for limited range. Oriana now is breaking out to expand. Now, this is where Oriana does expose himself a little bit. This, yeah, you can see Eva responds. This is where Eva can strike. Eva pushing into these other entrenched positions is going to be difficult, but this 6th base here is more exposed. Eva, he does threaten a dive. And does a poke in. Eva is thinking about committing here. He's thinking about it. But again, only 1 Viper. His blinding clouds are limited. He's going for it. Eva, he does commit. So 2 tanks are unsieged. Where are the blinding clouds? Yeah, blinding clouds coming in, covering 2 of those tanks. Bailing's rolling in as well. Ultras, they caught the back line. The snipes are brutal. And every ultra goes down. Every ultra gets sniped. Unfortunately, the flank on the left-hand side wasn't quite there, and we saw that the tanks did a great job at buffering. The tanks, they created a wall, and Oriana does take the fight. We have 10 ultras in production. Jesus. 10 ultras on the way. Greater Spire as well for Eva. We have another Infestor. Checking the spellcasters here. Yeah, he's down to 0, so Infestor's on the way. We also saw that Fungal was late. As you saw, like, Fungal is a way to deny and to disrupt snipes, but it was thrown down after the ultras went down. So a later Fungal. But with 10 ultras, Oriana, Eva can break this. Something important here is that Eva, he remaxes faster, of course. A faster remax for Eva. And Oriana, earlier he had what, like 7 tanks? Now down to 2. Only 2 tanks in the position, so this position is more vulnerable. Eva can break this, but there are a lot of ghosts. So catching out those ghosts is not going to be easy. That's where Infestors and Fungals come into play. That's where we only have 1, which is concerning. I mean, well, the tank count is getting higher. 4. Now there's 4 tanks. Oof. Now this is going to be more difficult to break. And now we have SimCity. It's too late. Like, the longer this goes on, the more secure this position becomes, and the more difficult it is for Eva to break it. Eva, he does rotate to the left-hand side instead. He does catch some free tanks. The quote-unquote free. 1, 2, 3 tanks going down, and 2 liberators. The snipes! Oh my god. The snipes to be punished. That's 3 ultras falling. Some brutal losses there for Eva. Initially, it was good, but the ghost did punish. Like, again, the ultras, they made of paper. Like, the ultras are very fragile. Doesn't take much to bring them down. We're switching into Broodlord. So Broodlord Infestor is the most efficient composition you can try to go for here, or one of the most efficient compositions. So we're going into Broodlord Infestor, which is necessary against Ghost Mech. Like, Ghost Mech here is the insane late game that Terran has. To deal with that, we do need to accrue a bigger bank. The goal base will help with that, and we also need the Broodlord Infestor. Now, the dynamic here is going to be a lot slower. A lot of this will come down to positional play when it comes to the sieging of the Broodlords and also the fungals and the protection the Infestors can provide. Oriana, what's going on? Oriana moving out. Massive fungal! Chain fungal! Oh my god, Oriana should not be out here. Bleeds out a bunch of Marauders. Liberator does deny some mining. Eva's overextending. Eva should not push in with those ultras. Eva has to pull away. Ghost now moving in. Right now it's all about, do we land that fungal ghost? They do move forward. They snap the Overseer. Overseer goes down. Ooh, Broodlord as well. Fungal does not quite connect. And Eva has to pull away. He has to pull away. His army's in danger. These ghosts can kill everything. So Eva has to get the hell out of here. Likewise, ooh, bit of miscontrol. Medevacs, they rally in. It's going to be 4 free Medevacs. So a bit of miscontrol there by Oriana. Likewise, oh, the Infestor is a little bit too far forward, but we're looking for the fungal. Tanks are unsieged. Fungal does connect. Massive fungal. And the Veilings. Oh, no, he's going for it. The Veilings. Oh my god, these connections. That was on 4 ghosts going down. But barely enough. Yeah, barely not enough. Barely not. Veilings, now they do race in. Oh my god. Once again, going for the ghost, but they cannot connect. They go for the planetary. And Eva, can he keep going? It's still very close. Takes down all the tanks. Yeah, he has support. He has support for his army. Takes down the base, takes the fight. Goes to survive, but Eva, he remaxes. What do we have? 8 ultras. 8 ultras on the way. Whew, GG gets called. Eva, he breaks the defensive line, and Eva ties up the series 1-1. Whew, we're going to the ace match. Aye, aye, aye. We're going to the ace match, going to... we go to the ace match, we go to game 3. GG, well played. Hold on, there we go. I'm just fixing the out of game score. But anyway, he's like Pappy, that was very sketchy. Like, as in it was a scary game. It was very stressful, very stressful. But GG, well played. With that, Eva ties it up, and we're going to the ace match. We're going all the way to game number 3. We'll see how this story ends. We'll see how this story ends. We'll see who will claim the series. Do we go the way of Oriana or the way of Eva? Let's go. Let's find out. We go. As we are loading into Tokamak. And spawning in the top right hand corner here of Tokamak, we have the Chinese Terran player, the blue Terran, being forced into the ace match. We'll see if he can bounce back. We'll see if he can bring it home. It is Oriana. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have the blue Zerg player. The blue Zerg player from the land of the UK, representing the Platinum Heroes, it is Eva. Let's go. Yes, for those that are curious, that was the first time that Eva tried that build. Again, that was the initial Roach opener, fast lair into fast infestation bit, into rush into hive, into ultras. It was a rush into ultras. Eva has never done that before. That was his first time, and yeah, it's definitely rough around the edges. Definitely rough around the edges. And he was like, that was this is very messy, but he got there. He got there in the end. And now we're getting into game number 3, and we'll see if Eva will rely on that build again or do something different. This time Hatch Gas Pool looks like a standard opener this time out of Eva, as opposed to the previous game where Eva did delay his gas. So this time it looks like Link Speed. This time, as fun as it was to see like the Roach into Ultra, this does look like something more standard, maybe just straight up Link Bane, which would make sense on Tokamak. Is Super a Chinese team? I always thought they were Europeans. No, this is a defunct team. This is Team Super. Team Super was an NA team. They were prevalence maybe in 2021. Like I think they were around for like a year, and then they ran out of money. But when they were around, they picked up a bunch of players. Like a lot. Like I think Trigger was on Team Super for a time. I think Trigger was in Team Super. It reminds me of Alien Esports. It was a team run by a guy who was really passionate, who picked up like a bunch of players and got like a bunch of salaries, and again, just like I feel like got maybe a little bit too big too quickly, and yeah, Team Super isn't really much of a thing anymore. But they were around again like during the COVID era of StarCraft. Seeing in the team games, they're pretty good, but also seem cheesy. They might be, if you're seeing this Team Super clan, if you're seeing some people on them, it might just be a clan now. As in, I don't think they have any salary pro players anymore. At this point, it might just be a clan. But yeah, they used to have Trigger. I think they had Estrella as well. Like they had like a Korean roster. For a time, like they picked up all the Koreans, like Lunacy, Rebellion, maybe Percival. Like they picked up a bunch of players back in the day. But with that, we're settling in. With that, we do have our 3CC into Starport, so economic opener here out of Oriana is working for an economic opener. Likewise, Eva behind this, settling into his own standard opener as well. Hatch Gas Pool into a third. Did mention that this opener did look like something more standard. There it is, Link Speed is on the way into Link Bane. So not Roaches. Meanwhile, 3CC Banshees, so a very stock standard play out of Oriana. This makes sense, especially after the last game. So basically, the build that we're going for here will keep you safe against Roach play. We don't see Roaches here in Game 3, but they were there in Game 2, so Oriana does adjust. As Oriana's poking in, behind this, double Evo chambers into 1-1 upgrades, into melee, carapace, into Link Bane. This is going to be, I believe, double Evo chamber before lair. Yep, so this is going to be upgrades before lair. So Eva is cutting corners. With this, he will have faster upgrades than normal. The downside of this is he's going to have a later Overseer Scout and, of course, later Baneling speed, as he will have a later lair. So Eva is cutting corners. As Hellions poke in, they are forced back. And from here, we should just be looking to vie for creep spreads and high bases. I mean, with this nice pickup here, forcing a cancel. Does cancel the fourth. So nice pickup here by Oriana. Likewise, poking it with his Hellions, just trying to deny creep spread, and building up towards his 7-minute push. Now, as I'm kind of getting ahead of myself, we could have turned this into a 3-base all-in. That is possible. We want Lisa coming for a surround. Nice catch here on 1-on-2 Hellions. Okay, 2 Hellions, 3 Hellions go down. Reaper as well. Nice catch here from Eba. Does punish. And our eyes are on Oriana. Does Oriana 8 racks from here? So far, he has a 5-rack setup. So far, everything's looking normal. From here, we can either expand it, get a 4th base and take gases, or skip gases, skip the 4th base, and throw down 3 more raxes instead. Now, I don't really like the idea of 8 raxing on Tokamak, and neither does Oriana. That is a factory. Factory, second gas geyser Oriana is macroing. So not going for an all-in, he's just building up. Again, this is just a really standard setup here out of Oriana. There's that 4th TC. Again, you could tell because of the factory, because of the gas geyser. Oriana does push out. This is a push. This is not committed. This is not all-in by any means. His goal here is to apply pressure to the base and to trade. And to potentially break the 4th. We'll see if he can. Remember, bailing speed was delayed because of the faster Eva chambers. So late bailing speed out of Eva. That is scary. Yeah, trying to engage in. Nice position with the tanks. Getting free damage. Tanks going down. Eba does collapse in, and he will get on top of the tanks. Yeah, it does break up. Does break this up. It does clean this up. And Eba does hold. So Eba holds. Eba does not lose the expansion. He's going to be able to build up here on his 4 bases. Has a macro hatchery. And from here, it's taking up into Hive. So just Lingbane Hydra into Hive Tech. This can lead into Lurkers, but for now, it's going to just be Lingbane Hydra with Viper support. That'll be the goal. Nice sniper on the Queen. Oh. Sniped. Eba keeping up with the drop play. Oh, Bailey's don't quite connect. Nice target firing out of Oriana. Oriana, he does take the fight. Shuts down the Lings. And we are looking to max out. We're looking to just build up, max out, 4th base on the way. Now switching to out of tanks into Widow Mines. So Biomine out of Oriana. Going for split pushes. So if our Eva is keeping up with the creep is somewhat lacking. We have creep in the center, which is nice, but no creep on the right-hand side. That will make it difficult to defend. And here comes Oriana. Oh, and that does force a cancel. Likewise, us as well. We're fighting off of creep. Yeah, Lingbane cannot engage. Not like this. And Eva, as a result, cannot take the base. Nice target firing. Takes out all the Bailings. Likewise, oh god. Decent surround. 2-2 kicking in there for Eva. Eva does barely take the fight. Eva's holding on. Saves the expansion. Oriana's not stopping though. And that wasn't a very supply efficient fight for Eva. He lost a lot of Lings in the process. Speaking of, oh, leaves out more Lings on the left hand side. Eva forced to react, forced to respond. Oh, nice connections. Oriana dropping into the main. Oriana dropping in, trying to pull Eva apart. Oriana, he's maxed out. And we'll see if Oriana can break the 5th. As the 5th base is exposed. Oriana moving in. Yeah, Liberation has arrived. The Viper is not quite ready, neither of the Lurkers. Yeah, the Lurkers are a little bit too late. Eba, he's in danger. Oh, the mine shot's gonna be brutal. Yeah, brutal mine connections. They punish Eba. They do punish. Likewise, kites back. Kites well. Shaves off more Lings. Oh, once again, Bailey's do run into the mines. And even though Oriana's being forced back, Oriana, he's maxed. like these trades have been so efficient for Oriana. And without lurkers, even he just kind of hold on. He kind of hold the line, not like this. Queens are going down, Oriana rallies in. Pushing into the bases. Lings, they tend to engage. And you can see Eva just trickling in. He just doesn't have enough. Bailings, they just melt. We have two lunkers. No, we have one lunker left. And the lurker will help defend. But Oriana's not done. Takes down the 5th base. Eva just torn apart here. He was keeping up for a time, but was just unable to get into his lurker tech in time. Likewise took some rough fights off of creep. I should say the creep was also lacking because of all the pressure. And Eva just cannot keep up, not anymore. Bleeding out Hydra's, expensive losses for Eva. And the base goes down. Oh my god, Jesus. Takes out the expansion. Oriana pulls away, at the same time pushing in the left-hand side. Once again, no lurker in position. Only 4 marauders though. Not the best setup. That's Oriana moving in. This one, Oriana is overextending. Like, he's done really well. He's crippled bases. He's crippled the economy here of Eva. Oriana just has to calm down, back off, consolidate his army, max out, and then push. He's just getting a little bit excited. There we go. Does pull away. Has to regroup. Now with Ghost. Now we have 8 lurkers on the way. Now, Eva, he can slow the game down with this. He can take a fight. Especially if Oriana weren't to have ghosts. The problem though, ghosts have arrived. Now, not too many. How many so far? 3. Only 3 is soon to be 7 ghosts. So Oriana's moving in. Eva in position. Oh my god. Takes out a ghost. The liberation has arrived. So let's force him back. Oriana's still maxed out. He's got 3/3 upgrades. We only have 2/2 for Eva. Eva's still contained on 4 bases. And the problem here for Eva, the thing that's killing him is the lack of base, the lack of expansion. Again, he got to lurkers too late to save his 5th. And he needs that 5th base, as the Terran player is now up in expansion. 5th base for Oriana. Now getting a 6th expansion. Ay, ay, ay. Oriana does move in. Oh, nice power bomb. Takes down 1 Liberators. Takes down a Liberator. Lurkers, they push on the left hand side, but they do get caught out. You can see Eva, he's coming back in this game. He's maxed out. Okay. He's now remaxed on a mass lurker army. And again, this does allow him to hold the line, not just that, but break out and expand. Now, Eva is still behind. Eva still has some recovering to do. But Eva's still in this. When it comes to Oriana, what do we need against Mass Lurker? Well, Ghosts and Liberators. That's all he's making. He's making 3 libs at a time, and look at that Ghost count. Jesus. The Ghost count is amassing back at home, and that is the answer that Oriana's been missing here. It is what he's been lacking. As Eva breaks out. Does break out. Getting into the mineral line. It does push forward. The planetary is going to fall. Nice pickup. Oriana out of position. Oh my god. Pushing into lurkers. And Oriana having a hard time engaging. Nice snipes here on the Hydras. Oh, but he cannot push in. Not like this. He has to spread. There we go. Does cloak. He gets 1. Gets 2. Takes on 2 lurkers, and eBay, he has to get the hell out of here. He has to pull away. But again, Orianna, he lost his base. Lost the expansion. eBay is now keeping up, or I should say he's catching up in economy. eBay, he's also been more efficient in that last fight. Orianna now moving in. Oof. Brutal snipes, and this is the fight that Orianna was looking for. He gets 1, 2, he gets everything. The Hydras, the lurkers, just mass snipe. eBay's army just crumbles, and eBay, he knows he cannot take this fight. He goes to the counterattack. Yeah, he just ignores the ghosts. He ignores the liberators. Goes for a massive run by going for the production. Tries to burrow in. Have their liberators back at him to defend. They haven't sieged. Oh, so no, the ghosts, they come back. Yeah, the ghosts, they come back home. They do sandwich the army. GG gets called. There's no getting out of that. And Orianna will take the series 2-1, advancing on to the next round. GG. Whew. GG, well played, Orianna. He will claim the series again. Eva, he just had a really hard time this game when it came to establishing a 5th base. He just could not really get a 5th base. He was not able to maintain himself. He was behind economically, behind when it came to the trades, when it came to the army. Yeah, he just had a hard time getting into the mid game, specifically mid game into late game. GG, well played. Whew, but regardless, congratulations here to Orianna, and a shout out to Eba. Shout out to Eba here for competing and for also trying out some new builds. But yeah, GG well played. Congratulations here, and now let's catch up with the bracket and figure out where we are and where we are headed. Let's go. Let us go. As we switch things over, and oh, the bracket is, we already have semi-final. What the hell? Jesus, we already have semi-finalists. Okay, so from the top, we have MaxPax. MaxPax takes down Mini Zerg. Oh, takes down Mini Zerg 2-0. Waiting the next series, waiting the next round. Hold on. As I just messaged the players. Yes, this is going to be Orianna versus MaxPax in the next round. Scrolling down, we have Nice takes down Azura, takes down Nicorette, and already in the semifinals. Look at how fast some of these matches have been. Jesus, it's insane. I mean, I guess we had a bit of a, I think our only series, yeah, our series was the only one that went to the ace match. See, we knew what we wanted. I saw the first lineup of players, the first round. I was like, clearly it has to be Eba and Orianna. What else would we want to go for? The only series that went to the ace match. GG. But with that, Orianna does advance on the face-off against MaxPax. Nice 2-0s Azura, 2-0s Nicorette. Nice is now waiting for the winner of MaxPax and Orianna. Scrolling down, Firefly. Firefly takes down Inexorable, takes down BabyMarine, and Firefly waiting for the winner of Milky Cow and Rex. As they are still mid-series. Best of luck to Milky Cow, best of luck to Rex. We, of course, are going to be following our matches into MaxPax and Nice. That is the plan. That is the plan. Again, when it comes to the lineup today, if you're looking at this event, you may be thinking, hold up, where are the Koreans, where are the other Europeans, where are the other big names? Literally every other top player is traveling. Remember, DreamHack Dallas, I don't think anyone is home yet. DreamHack Dallas ended this morning, ended today. DreamHack Dallas ended like 12 hours ago. less than 12 hours ago was when DreamHack Dallas ended. So no one is home yet, which is why MaxPax is here to claim his paycheck. Let's go, papi, let's go. He's here for it. He's here for it. He's ready for it. So we'll see if anyone can stop it. We'll see if anyone can slow him down. Again, it's one of those things where everyone prepares. You have all these players preparing and getting ready here for these big offline events. MaxPax, he prepares and he gets ready for the online weeklies. Let's go. That's where MaxPax, that's where he's at his strongest. as we are setting up our quarterfinals match. Beautiful. Here we go. And we'll see if Oriana was watching DreamHack. We'll see if he was watching. We'll see if he has been inspired by some of the play that we did see there. We'll see what he has in store for MaxPax. Again, of course, at DreamHack, 2 base all-ins were plaguing the PvT matchup, and we have seen MaxPax fall quite a bit to these 2 base all-ins from Clem, from Björn, from Cure. Has happened before, but again, we'll see if our Terran player has been inspired or not. As spawning in the right-hand corner of Tokamak, we have our Danish Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, representing Sidestorm Gaming, the favorite player for the entire tournament this week. Can anyone stop him? Will anyone take him out? It is MaxPax. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the Chinese Terran player, the Red Terran. It is Oriana. Here we go. And if you're in the chat, predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat, as there are some players that I would have pinned as players that could potentially bring MaxPax down. I'm looking at the bracket and I see Nicaract. Like, if you know anything about Nicaract, his best matchup is TVP, and he has caused upsets before. He has beaten, we've casted Nicaract defeat MaxPax in WardiTV Monday in the past, to bring him down in a best of 3 series. Has happened before, could happen again, but unfortunately will not have the opportunity to, as he did go down to Nice earlier. So as a result, I mean, where we're kind of thinning out the player base here. Who else do we have? Milky Cow. I can see Milky Cow being a little bit cheeky, being a little bit cheesy. Rex, I can see Rex being coming in with like prepared build with like some very specialized cheese for sure. 100%. Rex is that kind of player. In the PvPs, I do favor MaxPax. There was a time when MaxPax had the best PvP in the world. I don't think that's the case anymore, but despite that, he's still one of the best Protoss players in the world right now. And typically the other contenders for this tournament, I mean, they're not here. That's the reality here. They're just not here. You know, there's no Björn, there's no Hero, there's no Clem, there's no Solar, there's no Shin, there's no Showtime, there's no, more importantly, there's no Mana. Like, he's like he is the one, pappy. But I think Mana beat MaxPax last week. I think he was the one that knocked him out. No, sorry, Mana, he knocked out Clem last week. That's it. But yeah, like Mana's been a beast as of late, but they're all traveling, right? They're all traveling. They're all still in Dallas or still on the flight back home from Dallas. So MaxPax he's here to clear house, baby. To clean house, I should say. It'll be spotless. Here we go. Oriana, he does step up to the challenge. He's like, no. We got this. Behind the standard opener, going into his own 1-1-1. I say standard opener, sorry, that was a factory before starport, so double gas opener here out of Oriana. Going for a Reaper Hellion based opener initially. As Yep does poke in, and we'll catch out the initial Reaper. Reaper goes down for the Adept. Meanwhile, backup Adept also on the way. Now moving in. I see the Mega in the chat. Is my goat Mute playing in this one? Unfortunately not. This is a really rough time in the Americas, as in like the time zone wise, so unfortunately Mute is not playing in this tournament. Smoge, Pappy Smoge. Unfortunately. So I'm just stretching. I said before, I'm still recovering from this morning. Like, I said, I'm still recovering from this weekend of StarCraft. I'm still trying to prepare my body. Oh no. Likewise, our next broadcast should be the Pigostorm Monday tomorrow. I say should be because I know that they've been switching to Tuesday as of late, and that might continue tomorrow as well. If so, we're going to be casting KSL. Going to be catching up with the Korean StarCraft League, which we did miss out on previously. Meanwhile, drop into the mineral line. Does get a couple workers, not bad. Medevac will escape, but Blink is done in 2 seconds. Oh my god. And Blink not done in time. Orianna does get away. And MaxPax behind this, going 3-gate Blink. So standard opener, I should say safe opener out of MaxPax, will now take a 3rd base, moving out with all these Stalkers, and back at home Orianna, what does he have to defend? Orianna, he has his own 3-1-1 setup here, going into Cloak Banshee, building up his tanks. No bunker. Yeah, no bunker on the low ground. MaxPax, can he break through? Can he get on top of that tank? Warping in extra Stalkers. MaxPax looking to dive. The tank's exposed. No, the tank! Oh my god. Stalkers get behind the mineral line. They don't go for the tank. They don't go for the dive, but they will deny mining. Gas Geyser goes down. Depot as well. MaxPax from here, he can go into the main. Dips out. Spots the Banshee. Does spot the Banshee. Behind this first Banshee does get across the map. Do we have any detection? We do. Yeah, Robo is done. Observers are on the way. Damage is still being dealt though. Nice damage here by Orianna. Gets 5 probes. Still not done. Likewise, he tries to break out. Oh, he gets punished though. No, tank goes down for free. A bit of a messy breakout here from Orianna. Drop back in and gets cleaned up. Still 7 probe kills is good, but this move out, this push, this attempted all in out of Orianna, there's barely anything here. There's 1 tank and a handful of Marines. Remember, Stim is not done. There is no Stim. There's only 1 tank. There's plenty to deal with this. There we go. Blinks on forward. We'll lose the Observer. Cheeky move out of Orianna. Snipes the Observer. So the Banshee is at least safe, I suppose. Let's go. Meanwhile, across the map. Oof. And MaxPax. Just getting whatever's left. GG gets called. There's nothing remaining here for Orianna, as he was completely all in, and all in with just not much to work with. GG. MaxPax takes game number 1. Whew. GG. Does take game number 1. Again, MaxPax, he just had a pretty solid response. He was able to punish. We saw some potential there from Orianna, like the initial drop, and as well as the Cloak Banshee that were dealing quite an amount of damage. Unfortunately, the push was very disjointed and he got torn apart. He tried to move out across the map. He lost his reinforcements. He lost that first tank as well. That was brutal. And with that, GG. GG well played. Orianna, he just had nothing left here when it came to the all-in. Had no more army to work with. With that, GG. GG well played. We're now getting into game number 2, and we'll see if Orianna can recover, bounce back and force the ace match, or if it all ends here and now, as we jump into Pylon for game number 2. There we go. As we're getting into that second game. Meanwhile, it looks like the other portion of the bracket is still... it's ongoing. We'll get there. We'll be catching up with the other portion of the brackets. As for now, we're getting into the top left-hand corner. Top left-hand corner of Pylon. As we get into game 2 of this series, and spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the Danish Protoss player, the blue Protoss, representing Slastorm Gaming, leading the series 1-0. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have as a opponent, we have the red Terran player, the Chinese Terran. Down in the series, we'll see if he bounce back, we'll see if he can recover. It is Orianna. Go. They're not really monster strong in micro. I would say that MaxPax has been very in form as of late. He's definitely very strong. He's definitely one of the best Protoss players in the world. I think I would still say MaxPax is top 2 Protoss alongside Hero. Still top 2 Protoss. Still the favorite player, of course, as well. As we do have our double gas opening here out of Oriana. Double gas into a faster factory, so we're going for a more aggressive start, and we'll see where this leads to. Welcome to Pylon. Pylon is known for all-ins. Pylon is known for hyper-aggressive builds. And we'll see exactly what Oriana turns this into. This could even turn into a one-base all-in. It will at least turn into a faster factory. With this, we can keep an eye on the tech lab timing to see if he goes for tanks early on, cyclones, add-on swap into Cloak Banshee. There is potential. Ooh, that's nice snipe there. The recall does not save the probe. Oriana does punish. And Oriana moves out. Just see Oriana poking in. The goal here for Oriana with this Reaper is to get an eye on the tech, on the Twilight Council, Stargate, or Robo, on the gases, on how many gateways. But now the Reaper is zoned away, and we do see a Twilight Council opener at a MaxPax. Meanwhile, we did have a tech lab on that factory into early Cyclone, and this can lead into a second Cyclone. It can lead into a into a tank, or it can even lead into an add-on swap. As reactors on the way on the racks. Adept does poke in. Oriana does pull away. Behind this, we have our Widow Mine Drop follow-up. Okay. Setting up for the Mine Drop. Do we add on swap from here? Ooh, we do not. Tech Lab on that starport. Going for the initial tank. We're building up. Now, from here, we'll see how many tanks we invest into. We'll see how hard we commit. If it's just for safety to get into a longer game, or if there's more intention behind it. No fast stim. There we go, going into Banshee. Now, last game we invested into Cloak. This time I believe it's going to be vanilla Banshees instead. We're going to jump into the main to Scouts to get an eye on a Blink. As he does get an eye on this. Behind this, once again, 3-gate Blink into a third base. This is the same build that we saw last game at a MaxPax. Same build, same setup. Very safe play here from MaxPax. Not too greedy. Really what we're looking for here is any kind of move out from Oriana. No third racks yet. And again, no big dedication into those Banshees. Banshees are building up. MaxPax going to move in. Once again, no bunker here out of Oriana. The Unsiege tells Unsiege the wrong moment. There goes the dive. Two tanks going to be going down. Brutal pickoffs. As the first tank does pull away, though. Does save the tank. Let's go. Quick reaction there out of Oriana. Very nicely done. Saves the tank, and Oriana holds. Oriana does hold on. What's scary, though, is that MaxPax just saw everything. He saw the Banshees. He knows. Like, we're building up tanks and Banshees. This should be for a dedicated push on 2 bases. But alas, MaxPax sees everything, goes into the main. Tank is out of position. There was only one tank. The other one did go down. And these nice trades here from MaxPax. Picks off Marines. And Oriana is struggling. Now he does attempt to sneak out. Oh no! But MaxPax sees all over this. Yeah, one Banshee falls. Both Banshees do get picked off. Ay, ay, ay. And that was the purpose of this build, to build out that Banshee count, to either push with the main army or to harass across the map. And the Banshees, they do nothing. And yeah, GG gets called. Without those Banshees, without the tank as well, like Orianna, just the build just fell in its face, and MaxPax will take the series 2-0, advancing on to the semi-finals. GG. GG, well played. Unfortunately, just really dedicated play there by Orianna. So much invested and so much dedicated into the Banshees, into the tanks, and into the eventual 2-base push, but we saw that all the key units got sniped. The first tank, and the 2 Banshees, and a plethora of Marines as well. It meant that there was just nothing there, nothing remaining for Orianna. There was no power behind any kind of push, not anymore. GG. GG, well played. And with that, MaxPax will claim the series. With that, MaxPax will advance on into the next round. And who's waiting for him? Let's find out. Exclamation mark and be in the chat to have a look at the back yourselves. As we jump into the semifinals, MaxPax, he has an opponent waiting for him. There we go. We have both semifinals ready. We have Rex. Oh, Rex? 2-0 over Milky Cow. Papi. What's going on? GG, Rex. He takes out Milky Cow 2-0. Very impressive. Meanwhile, Nice takes out, of course, Nice took down Nick Racked. Firefly took down BabyMarine. And of course, now we have MaxPax up against Nice in the semi-finals. Oh. I'll message Wardy. Here we go. Okay, so we are setting up. We're setting up our matches, setting up our next series. Meanwhile, it looks like the semifinals is going to be happening at the same time. We're going to be covering MaxPax versus Nice. Again, it makes sense just because we're going to be following, you know, Orianna from into Eba, into MaxPax, now MaxPax into Nice. Meanwhile, Wardy is going to be covering Firefly versus Rex. So again, both semifinals at the same time. We have our PvP. Again, best of luck to Rex, but ideally we do want to cover, you know, both series. Do want to cover both series and do want to cover our bases. Usually the semifinals are held and we play one after the other, but for today's broadcast, Wardy has stated that they're going to be happening at the same time. Going to be happening at the same time, which is all good. It's all good. So from here, we're going to go on a short break. We're going to go on a short break. Veto's underway, so it does take a moment here. We'll take some time to get the vetoes going, to wrap them up, and then to jump into our next series. And this does tell us that we have 2 series left. So we get a bit of a shorter broadcast, which I'm okay with, just because of how intense the weekend has been. So it's just going to be the semis, then right into the grand final. So we'll see you guys soon after the break. See you soon. And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the semifinals of the WardiTV Monday number 37. Again, your weekly open dose of Open Tournament StarCraft. Here we go. We have our semifinals. We have our PvP, and spawning in the top right-hand corner of Leylines, we have the Danish Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, representing Storm Gaming. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the Taiwanese Protoss player, the Red Protoss, representing himself, currently teamless. It is Noise. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are now open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we jump into our PvP. Oh boy, and coming into this, MaxPax is the favorite player, but I would say that his opponent, Nice, is one of the few players in the bracket that can take it to him. For those who do not know, Nice, he recently did take down Hero 2-0. Now, Hero does have his own style of PvP, to be fair, but again, maybe you can take down Hero, you can take down almost anyone. We'll see how Nice compares to MaxPax. Behind this, we should be seeing a Gate Cyber expand out of MaxPax. Everyone knows MaxPax's opener, of course. I should say Gate Cyber Stargate into expansion. Meanwhile, Nice, 2-Gate opener. He will have the option to 1-base all in. Doesn't have to, but he could. I will say that when it comes to the Korean players out there, to the Korean Protosses, they no longer 1-base all in MaxPax. Usually it's 2-Gate openers into a faster expansion. Usually they have mirrored builds. You can see here Nice faking a proxy pylon. It's a fake out. I mean, technically you can proxy like a Twilight Council and like rush into DTs. Like, there are ways to make use of this pylon, but for the most part it is a fake out. Basically what's happening here is that MaxPax has a full scout in the main with the probe, and he counts a pylon. He knows in this kind of game state there should be a second pylon. It isn't here. There could be a proxy, or there could be a fake proxy. The pylon should be here. It isn't. MaxPax knows that at least. And he does go Zealot first. So MaxPax, he's searching for the proxy. He's playing it very, very safely. Checks the third location, checks the fourth location, doubles back around, checks the center location as well. So MaxPax just trying to be as safe as possible. Meanwhile, we can see that Nice comes in with a probe scout. And again, Nice is looking to get into a more standard setup here. Stargate opener out of MaxPax. Stargate before Nexus, which is standard, is to be expected. With this Stargate, if MaxPax feels like he's being all-in, or if he scouts an all-in, he can make a Void Ray. And Void Rays are ideal defensively early on. Otherwise, if there's no all-in, Oracle instead to harass and to deal economic damage. Oh, hello. Nice. He proxies his fourth pylon. Fourth pylon is proxied. Stalkers move out. This is a delayed 1-base all-in. Okay, like MaxPax is expanding. MaxPax is going for the Oracle. This is going to be a delayed all-in out of Nice. Very off timing, very off tempo. Designing to catch a MaxPax with his pants down. Stalkers are going for the shield battery. They get a couple of hits off. Likewise on the Zeld as well. Nice control. The Oracle has arrived, diving on the Stalker. Stalker has to get the hell out of here. Nice kiting. Kiting is solid. Here we go. It's going to be a 4-Gate all-in. 1-base, 4-Gate all-in. Vanilla Stalkers. No blink. Okay, Nice. He does kite back. Shield battery out of NG. There is going to be an energy overcharge. Energy overcharge is available. But the shield battery is under fire. Void Rays on the way. Oracle does get across the map. And back at home, is there a shield battery? There is. There is a shield battery. There is a battery to defend. Oracle. Ooh. So far left idle. MaxPax, he breaks out. No stasis. Void Ray extends. Massive volley. Massive volley goes off. He locks down the Stalker. Very nice catch. He does get a kill. Stalker goes down. Nice. Can he break through? MaxPax, he's in a bit of danger here. He has to pull away. But he's on 2 shield batteries. Third shield battery's in production. A pylon. That's our first pylon under fire. It's gonna go down. Massive pickup. Nice. He's doing it. He's breaking through. No more shield batteries. Oh, sorry. There's one shield battery left. D-powers the gateway. Busts into the main. Nice. The boys are being pulled. He's gonna get surrounded. He needs that Void Ray. He's moving in. Void Ray takes a lot of hits with the force field, but he gets it. He gets the Void Ray. Takes down the Void Ray. Once again, nice force fields. The surrounds are brutal. And he bleeds out little Stalkers. That surround may just be enough. It's gonna be close. Again, that was what, 4 Stalkers going down. If it wasn't for the surround, then Nice would have won this game. He still can. He still can. Still rallying in. Back across the map. Still has an economy. Stalkers are low. Oof. No shot on the boys. The surround. He wants the Void Ray. No, the shield battery saves it. And nice, he's running out of steam. He's running out of steam. These slugs are so low. But that Void Ray overextends. The Void Ray is out in the open. And there's no support. Remember, there's zero production. Zero production here for MaxPax. And GG gets called. Nice, he does it. He pulls off the one base all in. And nice, we'll take game number 1. Whew, GG. Nice, he does take a lead in the series. Again, we did mention coming into this, so you should not be surprised. But nice, he did take down Hero not too recently. I did mention that nice, he's one of the players that can threaten MaxPax. Taking a game is one thing, but can he take a series? That is still something to achieve. That is still something that is out of reach for the time being. Whew, a very, very intense one base all in. Nice takes the lead, but that is merely only the first step. One more though. He needs one more to claim the series. Let's go. Let us go. As we are getting into game 2. And we're loading into Torches, a map that is known for all-ins. Now, winding it back as a reminder, this was not just a one-base all-in and nice. Remember, this was a delayed one-base all-in with a proxy with the 4th pylon. Like, it was so wonky when it comes to all-in. That's why MaxPax was so underprepared for it. That's why he wasn't expecting it, and did catch him with his pants down. But here we go. Now we're getting into game number 2, and spawning in the top right hand corner of Torches, we have the favorite player for the entire tournament. We have the Danish Protoss is the favorite player, but he's down in the series. Can he recover? Can he bounce back? Representing Sidestorm Gaming, it is MaxPax. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Taiwanese Protoss player, the red Protoss representing himself. Currently seeing this, it is nice. Nice. And he is one game away from causing that upset. Automass is all he needs. Let's go. And again, that was a very cheeky build that he had in game 1, going for the delayed one base all in. But now it's going to be difficult to pull that off, more difficult on Torches. Welcome one and all to Torches. Torches has a unique feature. Torches has a ramp coming into the natural. So often we see gate expands from both players, but we don't see that from Nice. It is common, it is standard to set up here on the high ground to go for a faster expansion, to go for a more greedy economic build. Nice doesn't go for that though. Doesn't go for that 2-gate opener at a Nice. Once again, I would say this is more unorthodox just because of the map itself. So we'll see if Nice commits to an all-in or not. I mentioned before that just because you go for a 2-gate opener doesn't mean that you can't get a fast expansion. You can go for a double gateway into maybe Stalker Sentry, or you can even cancel the Sentry, cancel the Stalker and go for a faster Nexus. Nice can still turn this into an economic build, but we'll see. For now, Nice does delay. Does delay the expansion. And there's our pylon block. Again, the pressure is on Nice. I mean, I guess the pressure's on MaxPax, but but you can feel the pressure on Nice as well. Like, he knows how close he is. Again, that was a crazy pro pull as well from MaxPax in game 1. Where that almost won him the game, where he locked down 4 Stalkers. That was crazy. Meanwhile, another pylon block. Robo opener out of Nice. Now, with a robo opener like this does look like a one base all in. No proxy, of course, but the robo does allow for an early warp prism, which can allow for reinforcements to be sent across the map. Basically, we're waiting to see a 3rd gateway or an expand. But at this point, it should be a 3rd gateway. It should be. Meanwhile, MaxPax goes for the Stargate, a shield battery on the low ground just to be safe. Oracle's on the way, being chronoed as we speak. Yep, 3rd gateway, one base all in. And the Probe Scout confirms. Oh, the Probe Scout was not denied. Ay, nice, he did slip up here. And again, 3rd gateway screams one base all in. You can see Nice, actually shading into the main. Does shade in, boys are being pulled. Nice, gonna get a probe. Not quite. Yeah, nice control here by MaxPax. He pulls away his weakened workers. Does pull away. From here, MaxPax, he moves out. Soldiers are amassing. Again, nice, he's not expanding. The problem here is that it all got scouted. Unlike the previous game when MaxPax got caught off guard, here MaxPax, he knows what's happening. We have another shield battery in the main, a backup shield battery here at the natural. MaxPax, he is very secure. We even get the revelation on the prism as well. So there's a lot here that's working against Nice. Now with this sentry, with these force fields, he can still lock down the army. But likewise, so can MaxPax. Yeah, there's the NG overcharge. Nice poking in, but this position here is brutal. It's heavily fortified. Nice force field. Okay, takes down a Stalker. Bleeds out 1 for 1. Does trade. Unfortunately, unable to save his worker. I mean, a lot of this comes down to Nice's control. He has a prism. He can juggle. Ooh, does save the Stalker. He saves 1. He saves 2. Just barely. But again, some shaky control there from Nice. And you can see more shield batteries on the way. More stack defense. It's going to be 5 shield batteries. 5 shield batteries, a sentry, force field. Speaking of, nice kiting. But again, the longer this goes on, the better it is for MaxPax. Observer gets spotted. And Nice, he's running out of steam. Yeah, he's running out of steam. Bleeds out a Stalker. Oof. Bleeds out a Stalker. Another Stalker goes down. Every Stalker counts. Does bait out the stasis. Knocks down the gateway. Getting on top of the Stargate, at least trying to. Here's Mac alignment is activated. No other production. Ooh, MaxPax's supply blocked. Let's get supply blocked. Oh, but we have 4 Void Rays. This is not. It's not possible. There's 4 Void Rays with 6 shield batteries. Backup Cybercore's on the way in case the first one gets knocked down. For when the first one gets knocked down. Unisab here, 18 Stalkers. Now, I believe we can start to 2-shot Void Rays if all the volleys go up. Yeah, we can 2 shots. But the Void Rays are too far back. Stalkers going down, bleeding out 5 Stalkers. Yeah, nice. He takes out 1 Void Ray. 1 Void Ray for what? For how many? GG gets called. The efficiency was insane. MaxPax, he shuts down the all-in, and MaxPax ties up the series 1-1. GG. And again, this is more of what we expected between MaxPax and Nice. I should say MaxPax, he saw everything is the problem. Like, this is more of a standard all-in. This is more of a standard 1-base all-in. There was nothing too cheeky about it. What was impressive about game 1 was it was the delayed 1-base all-in, which did go unscouted as well. Like, there was a lot of layers in game 1 which did lead to Nice's success, and that's what you need to take down a player like MaxPax. Going for a standard 1-base all-in, that less so, right? That's a little more obvious, a little more practiced. MaxPax a little more comfortable against that, and especially on torches. The map itself favors defensive play, specifically just because of the ramp coming into the natural. Rush distance by ground is short, so that favors aggression in other aspects, of course, but here in PvP, like, he was so secure on that ramp. GG. And now we're getting into our next game. We're getting into the ace match. We'll see how the story ends, as spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Tokamak, we have the Danish Protoss player, the blue Protoss representing Psystorm Gaming. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Taiwanese Protoss player, the red Protoss, being forced into the ace match. We'll see if he can bring it back and bring it home. It is Nice. Now, he's already taken a map. He's already forced the ace match. He's already achieved more than many, I'm sure, would have thought possible. So already a strong showing here out of Nice. But can he go one step further? Can he do the unthinkable? And can he cause the upset? Oh boy. Now, I mean, we're loading into Tokamak. Tokamak is one of the larger maps in the map pool. Longer rush distance by ground. Because that you could argue that especially proxies can still be quite effective on this map. Doesn't matter how large the map is, you can still proxy, you can still commit to an all-in, true. But I want to see something spicy out of Nice. Not standard, not a standard all-in, something more different, something with a little bit more depth to it. Which is what led to success in game 1. But now to get opener. But now to get opener out of Nice. Nice, he does hug the edge of the map, and he's going for a proxy pylon. Now, once again, this position here is different. This is either going to be a fake proxy pylon, or this can be a proxy Stargate. You can see here that the rush distance by air, is what I meant to say. Rush distance by air is actually shorter than that of a diagonal spawn. So with this vertical location, the Oracle will get into the main base faster. So this can be proxy Oracle. The other option is proxy Twilight Council into a proxy Dark Shrine. But there it is. Stargate has been thrown down. This is Oracle. Now, for those that are curious, this is not an all-in. I should emphasize that as well. This is not an all-in. This is a way to get ahead economically. The goal here is to cripple the economy and then expand and then get into a better game state. So this is not an all-in. Meanwhile, MaxPax, he does go for the expansion. That's going to be after the Stargate. So relatively safe setup here out of MaxPax. Probe Scout comes in. Probe Scout does confirm the Stargate. And MaxPax, he is aware that there is a pylon missing. He finds it. Yeah, he does find it. He's now fully aware. He does open up Phoenix to shut this down. Ooh, and this is a rough start for Nice. Unfortunately, MaxPax, he found that ahead of time. He's now moving in to try to focus down the initial pylon to depower. And this is going to be a rough opener for Nice. As the Phoenix has arrived, the Oracle has to get the hell out of here, and I believe the Oracle will not escape. I think that you have to recall immediately, and there's no recall, so the Oracle goes down. Brutal start here. Oracle falls, and there's not much at home. We have a 4-gate. Okay, one base all in. That's interesting. Okay, we have a 1 base all in follow-up. We have a pylon across the map. I mean, I feel like this is necessary. Like, we cannot macro out of this, not anymore. But MaxPax doesn't really know what's going on. Not yet. MaxPax is in the dark. He is making Phoenixes, and one Phoenix does get very low. Of course, MaxPax, he can still punch the economy. He can still cripple. Nice, he is pushing. And back at home where we do have shield batteries on the way. Now, these shield batteries are a little bit later, just because this is unexpected. And Nice, he can pull this off. He has 7, soon to be 11 Stalkers. Void Ray just arrived, only 1 Void Ray. Does commit in, goes to the Void. Stalkers are too far behind. Loses 1, 2. He overextends. 2 Stalkers, that is brutal. Phoenixes, they're threatening a dive. They're sharking around. But again, the force fields did punish. Second Void Ray's on the way. Oof. Leads out another Stalker. Yeah, and Max actually collapses in. The Voids are being pulled. Mass lift on the Stalkers. Void Ray does kite back very nicely. And there's just not enough DPS here. There's just not enough firepower. I say that we have more warp pins. Okay. Does force his way in. It's going to be close. Takes down the pylon. Depowers everything on the low ground. Does depower. There's 2 Void Rays left. Breaks into the main. He will depower the gateway. Oh, wasted shot. There was a wasted shot there. And he's getting surrounded. He's getting locked down. The boys, they lock him in. But no shot. Has he done it? I mean, there's still 2 Void Rays. It's still not going to be easy. Does turn the Void Rays away. Nice target firing. Kites back against the probes. Phoenix is out of energy. But there's a 3rd Void Ray in production. Now, can Nice take down one of the Void Rays before that happens? Oh my god. He can. Oh my god, it's so close. Can he get one? He cannot. Yeah, barely cannot. Oh my god, please add another Stalker. Takes down the pylon. But there's another backup gateway. Like, nice. He's so close to breaking in, but the Void Rays, they refuse to go down. They're so low. He gets one. He gets one. Can he get two? Ah, there's still another Stalker, though. Yeah, there's another Stalker. He depowered that gateway 1 second too late. The Warp In did finish. Nice. He almost pulled this off. We do have more reinforcements coming in. Does take down one of the Void Rays just barely. But there's still one Void Ray remaining. And there's only 3 Stalkers. Only 3 Stalkers left. Again, I love this build just because it forced out Phoenixes. And you can see just how limited the Phoenixes are defensively. Like, they're so limited in how they can be used. And what they can support or what they can provide. And again, this was close. It was very close. Looks like Nice may have been missing some Warp-ins as well. That's Nice. He's down to 4 Stalkers. Shield batteries are repowered. And again, it was close. I can 100% see a world where Nice could have taken this game and could have taken down MaxPax. It's very close. There were like a couple of key moments where he bled out 1 extra Stalker. And you could, like, again, imagine this game and imagine this all in if he had like 2 extra Stalkers. Like, he bled out a lot early on. Likewise, there was a missed volley. Now committing in. Does try to commit. Down to 6. Soon to be 7. 7 Stalkers. But now the Natural's up and running. It's saturated. Now there's a Sentry as well. Has some force fields. And he does lock down the Stalkers. Yeah, 2 of them locked away. He's forced to engage. GG gets called, and MaxPax will survive the aggression. He will take the series 2-1, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. Whew. GG, well played. MaxPax does take the series again. He was favored coming into this, but a big shout out to Nice because he almost caught MaxPax down with his pants twice here. Again, what was really special about this game was that he went for the proxy Oracle, which got scouted, and that forced a Phoenix response out of MaxPax. And he didn't just make Phoenixes, he doubled down and made extra Phoenixes. And we speak about this all the time in TVP. When you invest into Phoenixes that early on, they're actually not good defensively against all-ins. You saw there that he had like 2 lifts maybe, and that's it. Like, he ran at Venji really fast with his Phoenixes. They were almost dead supply for a lot of that fight, for a lot of that defense, which allowed Nice to have an opening. Because there's only 1 Void Ray for so long. We saw that the force fields locked him down, and he bled out a lot of Stalkers early on. Despite that, he did break the natural. He pushed into the main. Took him a little bit too long to depower the gateways though, and MaxPax had the foresight to get a second gateway in the main. If it wasn't with that second gateway, I think Nice just wins. I think Nice just wins then and there. So nice foresight there out of MaxPax, and he does hold, does survive, does defend. GG. Whew, GG, well played. A very intense series. And again, shout out to Nice for making a series out of this. And again, you know, you can see how he can threaten these Protoss players. You can see how he can take down someone like Hero and take down someone like MaxPax as well. Impressive play there. Regardless, GG. And with that, MaxPax will make it to the grand finals. And who will he play against? That is the question. As I believe Firefly is mid-series against Rex. Yo, Gab, we got shout out to Kashim in the chat. Shout out to Kashim. Share map, share map. Hope you're having a great time abroad. Hope you're having a great time, and thank you so much. Thank you so much for all your work. Thank you. Do appreciate it. Este Kashim. Thank you. Dziękuję, papi, dziękuję. As we are heading over to the Korean server, as I believe Rex and Firefly are still mid-series. They're currently in game number 2. Firefly is up 1-0. And we might jump into the ace match. Here we go. Semifinals, Rex and Firefly. Okay. So from here, we are going to be going on a short break. We're going to be going on a short break here, and when we come back, we'll either have the ace match between Rex and Firefly, or we'll have the grand finals between MaxPax and Firefly instead. We'll have one or the other. One or the other. And yo, shout out to Complete Noob in the chat. God, my God. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for subscribing for the first time in quite some time. Thank you. Thank you. Good to see you, Pappy. Good to see you, as always. Good to see you. As it looks like it might just be a 2-0. I'm just no, but regardless, we're gonna go on a break as we have to wait for videos to conclude regardless, and we'll see you guys for our next series. See you soon. See you soon. See you soon. And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the grand finals of the WardiTV Monday number 37. Hope you enjoyed that brutal OC. It was a bit of a longer extended break, but we are here, we are back, and we are jumping into our best of 5. And spawning in the bottom hand corner of Tokamak, we have the red Protoss player from the land of China. It is Firefly. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have the Danish Protoss player, the blue Protoss representing Storm Gaming. It is MaxPax. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are now open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we jump into our PvP Grand Finals. Again, we saw that Nice was able to threaten and almost bring MaxPax down in the semis. Can we see Firefly step up to the plate as well? Now, in his prime, Firefly, he did actually force MaxPax to the ace match of an ESL Open Cup Americas. Went all the way to game 5. This was a year ago at this point. I remember actually covering that event with Chicken Man. It was myself and Chicken Man. We were covering ESL Americas at the time. Was a lot of fun. And was very intense, very clutch, very close. But that was, again, back when Firefly was playing full-time. That is no longer the case. Nowadays, we do see Firefly more playing a little bit more like part-time, I should say. Like playing every now and then. He's not as consistent as he once was back in the day. Here we go. As MaxPax does open up with the low ground setup here, Gate, Cyber into Stargate into Expansion. Again, MaxPax is going for the MaxPax opener. Meanwhile, Firefly with a 2-gate opener back at home. With this, he can go into a 1-base all-in, he can fake a 1-base all-in, or he can go for a faster expansion. We'll see where he goes from here. What do you have for us as he is rallied across the map? Of course, best of luck with your Gamba, best of luck with your predictions. So now we do have our gates, our stalkers rallied across the map. It's going to be double stalker initially. This could be double stalker into third and fourth stalker as well. Meanwhile, the Zealot is forced out. The pylon is buying a lot of time. Do we go for the Cybercore? You can see the Zealot is trying to zone away the probe to deny that Cybercore, but the Cybercore is going to be thrown down, and the expansion is more heavily delayed. Behind this, where's the Stargate here? MaxPax. Just now. Yeah, there we go. Stargate's now on the way. Does have the gas for it, so Stargate is now in production. MaxPax, ideally he wanted to expand, but of course he is denied the expansion, and Firefly setting up for, oh no, he's setting up for one base all in, but he gets scattered. MaxPax, he sees the pylon immediately, and it should be, I would imagine, a 4-gate setup. We have 2 gates back at home, and we should be proxying extra gateways across the map. And there it is. There's the 3rd gateway. Shield battery is denied. Nice pickup. Yeah, nice pickup here on the shield battery. Sentry under fire. Sentry is going to go down. Massive pickup. Takes down the Sentry. Force field with lackluster. And Firefly, he will pull away. He will escape with those stalkers. Gathering more shields. Building up more reinforcements. And MaxPax, he is in trouble. He is in trouble here. He lost that Sentry. Shield batteries, they need a little bit more time. One of them to take some hull damage. Void Ray is on the way. But Firefly has momentum. Firefly does have momentum. Going for the first Zealots. Shield batteries are finishing up. Shield batteries are completing. That's a very delicate micro here as the Stalker does take a bit of hull damage. Oh, it does take some hull damage. Firefly has to pull away. Miscontrol there at Firefly. He will lose 1 Stalker. I'll lose 2 Stalkers. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, that should not have happened. And with that, a 3rd Stalker goes down. Void Ray has arrived. Firefly, he's in trouble here. Now we do see MaxPax running out of energy. Does run out of energy on the shield batteries. But there could have been extra stalkers here. They were necessary. Firefly poking in, takes down the shield battery, going for the Void Ray. Boys are being pulled. 1 stalker goes down. Backup shield batteries are now done. A very sentry heavy, actually. Interesting. Very sentry heavy. As a 2nd Void Ray has arrived. We're going to have more shield batteries. It's going to be 4 in total. Okay, we're taking a lot of hits. Ideally, Firefly wants to bait out the army. Bait out the Void Rays. Has to do after prismatic alignment. Ooh, that is a bait. It's about to run out. When it does, Firefly, he can commit. He can still pull this off. still pull this off. Takes down the Cyber Core. Takes down the gateway. There's a 1 gateway left. Yeah, just 1 gate remaining. Backup Cyber Core's on the way. Firefly going for a Twilight Council. Ooh, okay, interesting. Going for Dark Templar? Or late Blink? As shield batteries are done, MaxPax is looking very secure. And Firefly, he cannot touch this position, not anymore. Of course, he has to try, but... Oh, right. Oh, he expanded. Oh, sorry, my apologies. Yeah, Blink, that's fine. My apologies, he did expand. Firefly getting ahead economically. I completely missed that, actually. Again, it was only 3 gates. Only 3 gates, no 4 gates. So with those extra resources, he expanded. Okay. I see you. That means Max is overreacting. He doesn't know. He doesn't know. Neither did we. But Firefly, he is ahead. Okay. We're in this. So Firefly takes a lead. Again, he does force a massive overreaction out of MaxPax. I don't blame him. Everything did lean towards all in, but no. Firefly is ahead economically. And from here, getting into Blink, getting into the Robo. Firefly outmaneuvering MaxPax. MaxPax now confirms. Now he sees. I was like, oh, I see. You have a base and it's fully saturated. I understand. Ay, ay, ay. And unfortunately, MaxPax, he doesn't really have anything to harass across the map. Now he's going for the... Oh, he did have an Oracle on the way. He did cancel. Cancels the Oracle. Blink is almost done. Third base now on the way for Firefly, getting further ahead. As Force Fields, Blink is not done. Oh, brutal. Yeah, Stalker, so many of them go down. 3, 4, 5, and more Force Fields. Ay, ay, ay. Blink now finishes in the midst of this. Well, that was a very strong fight for MaxPax. And Firefly, he's hurting. He has to get the hell out of here. MaxPax, he can try to break out with this. Going for Immortals. Immortals are on the way. Oracle as well. Firefly plummets in supply. That was 6 Stalkers going down. 6 Stalkers and 2 Sentries. That was a massive breakout from MaxPax. And again, Firefly not paying attention. Now MaxPax expands. He is setting up. But the game continues. And again, this can go either way. Firefly still has a better economy. Meanwhile, MaxPax, he has a more secure army. What I mean by that is that Immortal Void Ray, this is actually quite robust, and against Stalkers, like, this army actually trades really well and really nicely. Defensively, I should emphasize. Obviously, Void Rays are not the most mobile units. Void Rays are not, they don't really scale amazingly into a longer game, but temporarily, at least for now, like, this army has strength. Stasis into the main, no reaction. Oh, no reaction here. Massive stasis, gets the entire mineral line. Mineral line goes down. Firefly breaks out. What do we have? He has 23 Stalkers. That's a lot of Stalkers. And he can try to push in. He can try to bypass the army. I'm here. Does run into the Void Rays. He kind of fight head on. Takes down the Observer, getting pulled apart. More probes going to be falling. Ay, ay, ay. Let's see another 4 probes. And again, I still do worry here for Firefly. He's now getting to +2 upgrades. He does have the upgrade advantage at least. True. So up on upgrades. Now getting a 4th. Firefly, oh, does pull away. Does pull away. MaxPax getting another base. When it comes to the compositions that we're kind of scaling up with, Firefly is at least now going into charge, but I feel like this was necessary earlier. Like Pure Blink Stalker, it's not going to work out well. Like Firefly cannot touch this army in a head-on fight. He needs charge lots. Charge lots and Archons, his own Immortals. Pure Stalker, the advantage that Firefly has here is his mobility. That's true. He can try to bypass the army, hit the fringe bases, get into the main, or maybe pick off some key units. But again, he cannot fight head on. As MaxPax does break out, so you have a bunch of slow lots morphing in. Oh god, no! The move command! Oh, Stasis goes off as well, and Firefly, oh god, he might lose everything here. Oh no. He walked into the army. Not like this. Now, I think he can blink. I think blink is still going to be available. And Max actually pulls away. Yeah, there's blink. Ooh, Prism gets picked off. And there's DT's able into the bases. MaxPax pushing forward. Charge is still not yet done. Yo, we got them slow lots. Let's go. Nice control here with the voids. Nice control. Does pull away. Distracted by the stalkers. Again, the Zealots do a great job here just tanking shots, getting on top of the Immortals. Again, you can see how the dynamic changes once the charges come into play. They do a great job tanking, buffering, catching up the army. Firefly takes a better fight. Very nicely done. And again, there's no splash damage for MaxPax. There's no Archons. Oh. Stasis traps are going up. Oof. They will buy time. But Firefly is so close to overwhelming MaxPax. Now he's got charge. Now he's got +2. +3 is on the way. Oh god, he blinks in, takes another Stasis in the face. The Stasis traps, they keep popping up. Ooh, Prism rallies in. And even though MaxPax has a larger army, so much of it just caught in these Stasis, but there we go, it does break out. Charge lots, they collapse on the Stalkers, they trade very efficiently. Another Stasis, another Brutal Connection. But Firefly, he should have enough. He should have enough here. Firefly overwhelms to break the base. There are DTs, but we have the Observers. And Firefly, he will kick things off with a win. Again, it was a really nice opener as well. Like, I love that he faked an all-in. I fell for it as well, but he went for a 3-gate, initially 1-base all-in, then he expanded, he probed up behind it. He was able to get ahead economically because of that. Here, the mid-game was shaky, for sure, until charge finish, and there we go. GG gets called, and Firefly takes game number 1. GG. Firefly does take a lead in the series, and now we're getting into game number 2. Again, MaxPax caught with his pants down, caught unawares. That's what was happening. It took him a long time to realize that Firefly was expanding. The Firefly had an economy, and MaxPax had a lot of catching up to do. As we did mention, because Firefly was stuck on Mass Stalker for so long, MaxPax had the favored army. He did have the stronger composition until charge came into play, and that did catch MaxPax off guard, it seemed, where the Zealots, they were in the backline for a lot of that, and they weren't really revealed completely until halfway through the fight, and it heavily swung in favor of Firefly. GG. GG, well played. With that, we're now getting into our next game. We're getting into game number 2, and we'll see if MaxPax can recover. We'll see if Firefly can extend his lead. Let's go. Bearing in mind this is a best of 5. Best of 5, not a best of 3, but best of 5. Let's go. So we are getting into our game 2 and spawning in the bottom hand corner of Leylands. We have our red Protoss player. We have our Chinese Protoss leading the series 1-0. It is Firefly. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player representing Storm Gaming. Down in the series, we'll see if he can bounce back and make a series out of this. It is MaxPax. Now, what I will say, after game 1, I'm sure that MaxPax is going to be a lot more aware, or a lot more, I say aware, he's going to be a lot more attentive when it comes to scouting, when it comes to checking and rescouting and confirming whether or not Firefly is actually all-inning. Because of that, I actually like the idea of Firefly committing to a real all-in this time instead of a fake one. Just to mix things up and just to keep MaxPax on his toes. There is that unpredictable nature now kind of surrounding Firefly where he can try to catch MaxPax off guard, depending on his build of choice. We'll see. We shall see. Likewise, MaxPax, I'm sure he's going to be second-guessing himself when it comes to what he sees, what he scouts, and what he's up against. Not the first time that MaxPax has been caught with his pants down in the PvP today. Happening against Nice, now happening here against Firefly as well. Now we're settling in. So far so good. 2 gate opener out of Firefly. Likewise, gate cyber expand out of MaxPax. I mean, I should say gate cyber into Stargate into expansion. Stargate this time is a lot faster. Remember last game, MaxPax, he delayed the Stargate because he had later gases, because he wanted a faster Nexus. MaxPax, he had a really rough opener last game because he wanted that base, didn't get it. This time, MaxPax, he's so much more faster to embrace that Stargate. So already I would say a better start for MaxPax. This time MaxPax is being less greedy. Less greedy. Ooh, attempted Cybercore. Does get it. Cybercore does go down. Firefly, he will delay. And the probe does sneak out. Getting ready for the pylon. Now the question becomes, real or fake? Is it real or is it fake? What's going on? What's happening? Adept does shade across the map. We'll run into reinforcements. Should be dealt with. Cybercore still up and running. Base is heavily delayed. Jesus. Adept does get into the middle line. Gets 1 probe. Ooh. Gets 2. Yeah, 2 probes going down. That should not have happened. So nice damage there by the Adept. Gateway gets scouted. So far we have a 3-gate setup. Again, we saw this same build in game 1. Firefly has the potential to expand. Does he though? Meanwhile, the Oracle gets spotted. Firefly with the attempted intercept. Oh. Does barely kind of get it. But Firefly turns back around. Then turns back. More shield batteries on the way. Firefly spent a lot of time trying to catch out the Oracle. Didn't get in the end, but there's a shield battery. Thankfully. There is a shield battery. Firefly now moving in. Asgardian shield. Does have a force field. Oh, Sentry gets targeted. And nice pickup. Sentry goes down. Nice kind of force field here out of MaxPax. And Firefly is going for the Void Ray. He does get some hull damage, but he should not bring it down. And from here, he's going to be forced back. He's going to bleed out a Sentry. Sentry goes down. The final Sentry falls. Some brutal losses there for Firefly. I think he lost 1 Stalker. 2. Lost 2 Stalkers. Once again, he gets locked down. He's actually overwhelming the shield batteries. Does overwhelm the Void Ray. He's taking a lot of hits, a lot of damage. And 1 Void Ray does fall. Massive pickup. He gets 1. He gets 2. Oh my god. And that might just be it. That might just be game. 2 Void Rays fall. Yeah, MaxPax overextended. And a Firefly. He has broken the natural. Again, the shield batteries are out of energy. There's no NG overcharge. Nice control. He pulls away the weakened Stalker. And Firefly keep going. Firefly can keep going. And he should. Takes down a Stalker. Goes up the ramp. He has to keep going. He cannot waste any time. Voider's on the way. Takes down the Stalker. Boys are being pulled. Boys are being pulled. Nice force fields. He locks down some of the Stalkers. Void Ray has arrived, but the Void Ray does fall. GG gets called. Firefly, he does break through. He will take a 2-0 lead in the series. Whew, GG. Firefly, he does extend his lead. Again, we saw that MaxPax, initially he went for a safer opener with a faster Stargate, but his Nexus was still heavily delayed because of the late Nexus, likewise the late NG overcharge as well. And we saw that Firefly, he was able to trade quite nicely there at the natural. MaxPax did overextend. He did overextend with his Void Rays. He did leave them exposed, did leave them vulnerable. They were overwhelmed. Firefly did a great job when it came to pulling back those Stalkers, when it came to just draining the energy on those shield batteries. And with that, GG. Firefly does take a 2-0 lead, and Firefly needs one more game to claim the series. Let's go. One more game here, and we'll see if MaxPax can recover. And we'll see if he can make a series out of this. Oh boy. Now again, the last time that we casted Firefly versus MaxPax, it went all the way to the ace match. It went all the way to game 5. I think Firefly also had a 2-0 lead in that series. Or was it back and forth? I can't quite recall, but it was very close. It was very close. I just remember it went all the way to game 5. We'll see if it goes to game 5 again, or if Firefly will just close it out. Let's go. As this time he committed, of course, into the one base all-in, which I did mention that I did like the idea of that. That Firefly, game 1, he fakes a one base all-in. Game 2, he commits to the one base all-in. And MaxPax just having a really hard time reading Firefly. Oh, hello, Iceland, hello. And here we go. We're getting into game number 3. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Incorporeal, we have our Chinese Protoss player. We have our red Protoss. Whew. Leading the series 2-0. It is a Firefly. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player, the blue Protoss representing Sidestorm Gaming. It is MaxPax. Fast Nexus is the weakest build in PvP. That is not true at all. What are you talking about? It sounds like you haven't seen a lot of StarCraft, or you don't watch a lot of MaxPax. MaxPax purely goes for fast Nexus builds. That is his purpose, that is his start, and he does find a lot of success with it. As a reminder, game 1, MaxPax misread the build of Firefly, and he did not know, he was not aware that Firefly was not going for the all-in and that he was expanding. That was on MaxPax not to rescout. Here in game 2, likewise did overextend, did overstep, and was shut down. There's a reason why MaxPax is the best player, the best Protoss player in Europe. Like, this opener does work. Just because Firefly is able to abuse it here and is able to shut it down does not mean it is easy to do so whatsoever. MaxPax is born strong but build super weak. That is not true. That's also not true. The downside of the build, and one of the reasons why a lot of people don't do it, I say a lot of people, the reality is that if you watch much Korean StarCraft, you will know that Hero alongside Classic, alongside Creator, and Trap as well, they've all started doing this build as well in PvP. They've all started going for Gate, Cyber, Stargate into Expand, into Nexus. So you see this build often by the Koreans as well. There was a time where MaxPax was the only player that did this build, but at this point the meta has shifted, the meta has changed, and now the Koreans do this as well. Alongside Showtime, alongside the top Europeans. MaxPax is known for this because he's the one that started doing this many years ago. It's only recently that now all the other pros have adopted it as well. Meanwhile, we do see once again Firefly does open up with the Cybercore block here on the low ground. And once again, Firefly moving out with that probe, setting up for the proxy, setting up for the all-in. Let's go. I think a lot of people, this happens especially when you watch tournaments. A lot of people, if they see a player losing a game, they want to say like, they want to make like an excuse for that sort of thing. But I would say right now it's Firefly that's popping off. When it comes to mind games specifically, especially when it came to game one, like game one was the most impressive game so far to me when it comes to the mind games. Likewise, the sword out of Nice as well. Meanwhile, the gateway has been seen, and look at this, Firefly expands. So this is a fake one base all in out of Firefly, bear that in mind. And this time MaxPax should be able to confirm this. Stalkers, they're pushing forward, they're applying pressure. MaxPax can be forced back, he has to pull the boys. Oh, shield battery is denied. Nice pickup. Second Oracle? No shot. MaxPax does go for the second Oracle. This is very greedy out of MaxPax. The second Oracle won't help defend. No shot. No shot. Second Oracle. Ay, ay, ay. With that, he's going to be overwhelmed. He's going to be overwhelmed here. Firefly, even though Firefly is expanding, he looks down the army. He will break through, takes down the Stalker, takes down the other. And again, MaxPax, this second Oracle does not help. Yeah, he messed up. MaxPax, he did slip up here. I mean, sure, he's killing probes, which is nice, but he's also losing everything back at home. The Void Ray is on the way. Can MaxPax defend his main? As probes are going down, Pylon is going to fall. Depowers the gateways, and the voids are being pulled. It's all or nothing for MaxPax. Can he make a stand? Can he hold? Back across the map, 18 probe kills. Firefly, he has no economy, but he has the army. Oh, bit of miscontrol. Yeah, bit of miscontrol there out of Firefly. He has to kite back. Has to kite back. He has to break out. He wants that Void Ray. He cannot get close. The boys, they're doing great here when it comes to buffering. They do buffer. They do support. Second Void Ray is almost out. And there's two pylons. Yeah, there's two pylons keeping this powered. He gets one. He's going to get the other. It's close. He gets it. Gets the second pylon. Second pylon goes down. Depowers the Stargates. One Void Ray left. One Void Ray versus how many? Versus 7 Stalkers. Meanwhile, the Oracles, they go back in. Recall. Oh. Recalls 1 Stalker. Does recall back home. Probes are still falling. Meanwhile, MaxPax has 2 Shiwaris here on the low ground. Oh, and Firefly, he's running out of steam. Firefly is down to 5 workers. But there is no production, so Firefly can still pull this off. Like, Firefly is broke. At the same time, MaxPax is down to two Oracles and a Void Ring. Oh! Gets a volley off. Nice volley. He commits! Oh, he tries to make those prismatic alignments. Tries to win, he cannot break through. And MaxPax, he holds. MaxPax, he holds on a very clutch defense. Takes down all the Stalkers. Oracles come in to support as well. Yeah, Firefly, that was not the fight to take. Yes, here we go. Does break out. Takes down the Stalker. And GG. GG gets called. Firefly has nothing left, and MaxPax, he will fight back. He will put a point on the board. Whew. GG. GG, well played. Again, a very, very risky play there from MaxPax to go for the double Oracle instead of the Void Ray. That was insane. In the end, it barely worked out, but I would say that was also Firefly overextending. If you remember, Firefly, he did mess up his control in the main base. He did end up losing or missing 1 or 2 volleys because of the probes. He was trying to go for the Void Ray. Likewise, Firefly, he overcommitted into the natural, into all those shield batteries, and Firefly, he lost that army. He lost that potential to try to catch out that Void Ray. GG. Whew, GG, well played. With that, we're now getting ready for our next game. With that, the series continues, and the comeback has begun. I see more than 10 ladder games where 6K players easily destroyed MaxPax. We have more than, what, 100 replays of MaxPax beating pro players like Hero, like Classic, like many others with this style, with this build. So I recommend watching more StarCraft. But there's a reason why, like, all the top pro players have now adopted this opener, because it is very safe. It's very safe, does give you an economic edge. We saw here, I will say that MaxPax was very cavalier when it comes to his response, when it comes to his build of choice, when it comes to the follow-up of going into the Oracles. That was crazy. That was a crazy decision. It worked out, but it almost didn't. It almost fell on his face. That was very risky out of MaxPax to go for the second Oracle. But here we go. We're getting into our next game. we go. So we're loading into Persephone. Can you watch too much StarCraft? If so, then that would be me. That would true. Oh no. I haven't gone there yet, Pappy. Haven't got there yet. But here we go. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of Persephone, we have our Chinese Protoss player. We have our red Protoss. Whew. Leading the series 2-1, one game away from claiming the series. He's so close here to causing that upset. We'll see if he can pull it off. It is a Firefly. And spawning in the bottom-hand corner, we have the Danish Protoss player, the blue Protoss representing Sidestorm Gaming. Hiding back, putting a point on the board. We'll see if he can recover. We'll see if he can pull off and bring us to the ace match. It is MaxPax. Was a bold move and paid off perfectly. I mean, kind of. Like, Firefly, I mean, you could argue that because of the Oracle harass and the Oracle aggression, Firefly did make mistakes. Like, Firefly, he did look quite frazzled given the game state. And did slip up across the map as a result. For sure. As this time Firefly setting up on the low ground. So we have our gate set up here on the low ground. Firefly, he has the minerals. He wanted to expand. He wants to go for a gate nexus, but alas, MaxPax will pylon block. Oof, yeah, he does block. Big delay here for Firefly. Oh, the pylon gets thrown down, and Firefly, he's forced to throw in the Cybercore. This is a late Cybercore, late pylon, late build out of Firefly. Aye. So basically what happened here at Firefly, he was trying to go gate nexus, and he was built up for it, but because of the block, he wasn't set up to like transition out of it too seamlessly. So this is going to be a shaky opener here out of Firefly as he attempted the faster nexus. Meanwhile, MaxPax chilling back at home, going for the Cybercore, going for his own standard opener. So this is a shaky start for Firefly, as he does still get the Nexus before the Stargate. Meanwhile, MaxPax goes Stargate before Nexus. So we do have Firefly going for the more economic start. The pressure is now on MaxPax to try to punish the economy of Firefly. And Oracles are going to be built for that. So MaxPax, he should be going for the second and even, sorry, the first and even the second Oracle as well. So we should be seeing extra Oracles out of MaxPax. Firefly responds with his own Stargate. He can open Phoenix. We should be seeing a Phoenix opener. Actually, depending on the vision, we could even see Phoenix Wars. Yeah, MaxPax, he sees a Stargate. MaxPax, he has a choice to make. Does he make the Oracle or does he make the Phoenix? If we go Phoenix, then Phoenix Wars have begun. There it is. Let's go. Now, the scary thing about Phoenix Wars here is that MaxPax does have the lead when it comes to Phoenixes. Does have the lead. And that is going to be a hindrance here for Firefly. MaxPax, of course, does confirm the Phoenixes that are being built up. And MaxPax does have a 1 Phoenix advantage. Now, there are ways to recover from a Phoenix disadvantage, that is true. Firefly, he can try to... Oh, let's go. He can use the healing pad. MaxPax, he's like, oh, yeah, that's a good idea. Let me do that too. As up his court. Second Stargate's on the way. Now, of course, because this Firefly, he cannot take a head-on fight. He cannot fight. He cannot be active on the map. What he can do is he can take a risk. He can take a chance and try to bypass his army, get in between the army and the production, and try to catch reinforcing Phoenixes. Oh, he's moving in. Ooh, does get a first shot off. And I think that's just game. MaxPax, he takes down the first Phoenix, takes down the second. Nice kiting, does pull away. MaxPax does have a massive advantage here. Ooh, overextends, but should have enough. Yeah, just a really rough fight there for Firefly. And Firefly should not be able to keep up. He should not be able to build up. And MaxPax, he will come out on top of the Phoenix Wars. GG gets called. MaxPax will tie the series 2-2. We are going to the ace match. Ooh, GG. Again, it was just a really rough start at a Firefly to be behind a Phoenix. As a reminder, a Firefly, he had a later Stargate, so later Phoenix production, so he was already behind when it came to the Phoenix. But what was brutal there, if you remember, if you saw, Firefly, he had lifted the Adept, and that is a bait. To move out with your first Adept and Zealot, that is a bait to force a lift. Because we saw the lift at a Firefly, that meant that one Phoenix wasn't attacking. That means that one Phoenix was lifting up the ground unit, and it meant that it could not add any DPS, so instantly he was down in DPS, down in damage, down a Phoenix, and GG. GG, well played. So you have to be very careful with how and when you decide to lift, because your opponent's always looking for that moment where if you lift up a unit, that means immediately one Phoenix out of the fight. So we did see MaxPax capitalize on that. Game did end, and we're going all the way to the ace match. Again, the last time we casted Firefly and MaxPax play in a series in a best of 5, went to the ace match as well, went all the way to game 5. It's happening again. Here we go. Feeling down to build Phoenixes to lift you up. As long as your opponent doesn't have Phoenixes though. Like, no. Not like this. As we're getting into the ace match, we're going to be loading into Maganatha. Let's go. Here we go. We're getting into our next game. We're getting into the ace match here, and spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Maganatha, we have the red Protoss player. We have the red Protoss player himself from land of China. It is Firefly. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the Danish Protoss player, the blue Protoss representing Sidestorm Gaming, bringing it back, winning 2 games in a row. And can he pull off the reverse sweep? It is MaxPax. The reverse sweep in an ace match. Let's go, Bobby. Let's go. We'll see if he can pull it off again. The pressure is on. We are jumping in. See someone in the chat, why MaxPax didn't go to DreamHack? MaxPax does not travel to offline events. He does not travel and does not take part in those events, only in online tournaments. So again, you got all these people training for DreamHack. Nah, MaxPax, he trains for the WardiTV Monday. Yeah. This is what MaxPax trains for. Let's go. People, they always say that, like, oh, you know, online tournaments are not quite the same as offline events. You know, like a lot of the other players, like they don't necessarily play at their best, or like it's just a different atmosphere. But MaxPax, no, he's always playing his best because online tournaments is all he has. So always bringing his best to the table. Let's go. He's here for it. So now we do have a 2-gate opener out of Firefly. Likewise, a gate expand out of MaxPax. Does take his gases. Yep, going for the Cyber Core before the Nexus. This time he's a little more faster to do so. So this block is going to be annoying, that is true, but MaxPax is already expecting the block. He wasn't rushing into the Nexus before the initial tech. So he should be okay with this. Meanwhile, we do have 2 probes on the map. Coming in for the Cyber Core. Firefly up. Ooh, he will lose the probe. No Cyber Core. Yeah, nice snipe here with the Stalker. Stalker does bring him down. Do see Firefly moving in with a second probe. But he will lose the second probe. Bit of miscontrol there from Firefly. Was stuck rallying. And from here expands. As you mentioned, with the 2-gate opener, you can expand behind it. So 2-gate opener, double Stalker into Nexus. So we're building up in towards a longer game state. No proxy, no all-in. If only WardiTV Mondays had to play keyboard mics. True, true. If only. His Void Ray's on the way. MaxPax playing safe. He does spot the expansion. I believe he cancelled. Yep, he does cancel the Void Ray. Again, the Void Ray is only necessary if you believe you're being all-in. But no all-in means no Void Ray. So from here, MaxPax can just embrace his own longer game. Getting to his own gateway. Twilight counter into Blink. Blink is going to be slightly faster for Firefly. And we have a game. We have a back and forth. We see that Oracle hitting the main. Gets 2 probes. Gets 2 workers. Is going to be deflected. Not a bad start here for MaxPax. It does keep the Oracles alive. They take a lot of hull damage, but still alive. They can still maintain themselves. Zealot does take a lot of hits. Likewise, MaxPax picks up the sentry. Nice catch. And MaxPax is looking to overrun. Firefly has to get the hell out of here. Yeah, flanking Oracles. They get, ooh, one of the Stalkers. Barely not. You got 1, 2 Stalkers going down. No shield battery. No shield battery to defend, but he does have the defense advantage. Firefly, he does hold. Whew, he does hold on, he does deflect. Remember, Blink is going to finish up first for Firefly, which means he can punish this, he can chase this down. Yeah, MaxPax here overextends. Blink does punish, he gets 1, 2, he gets everything. Every Stalker goes down, and now it's go time. MaxPax, he expands. MaxPax getting a 3rd base. Firefly is pushing. Is moving out. Firefly also expanding behind this, bear that in mind. He is expanding. MaxPax, he peels off a couple of depths. Does get across the map, but back at home, where is the army? There's nothing here. Probes are going down. Brutal damage, losing up to 6, up to 7 probes. Diving on the main army, he can 3 shots. Oh, does miscontrol towards the end though. It does retarget. From here has to pull away. MaxPax, he defends at the same time. Oracle into the main base, Adepts into the natural probes are also going down. But MaxPax beating out 14 probes, and Firefly can just say, oh no! Bit of miscontrol. Bit of miscontrol there. Yeah, chaotic fight. Stasis in the main, gets the entire mineral line. Yeah, a lot of chaos being wreaked, but Adepts do fall. And Firefly, he actually has an even worker count. That's crazy. 14 probes went down in total, but Firefly, he lost 11 workers back at home. Stasis trap as well. And economically, I mean, we're neck and neck. There was definitely opportunities there for Firefly. But again, he was distracted. There's a lot going on. He falls back, he pulls away, and the game continues. As it settles, MaxPax has a slight worker lead. Both players have Blink. No one has +1. No one has any other tech yet. So we're pretty even. After all that, we're pretty even. Behind this, we have the Forge on the way for +1 from MaxPax. Meanwhile, Firefly, he delays his Forge into extra gateways and into Charge. Okay. Now again, as we saw previously in the series, Charge is, or I should say Zealots, that's a massive gateway explosion. Jesus. Zealots, they do outscale Stalkers. Like, Zealots are very efficient against specifically Stalker-based compositions. Stage trap going to be going down. This is going to be a 3-base all-in. Do you see what I see? No gas at the 3rd, only 1 gas here at the natural. Meanwhile, MaxPax, he's on 4 gases. He's taking an extra gas geyser. MaxPax going into pure Blink Stalker. And MaxPax does have a power spike early on. Ooh. Bleeds off a Stalker. Firefly bringing it all together. How many gateways? I believe he's on 8 gates. 5, 7. Sorry, is on 8. So 8 gateways here for Firefly. Again, 3 base all in from our red Protoss. He has to commit. It's all or nothing. does move out. Dark Shrine is on the way. Now, Dark Shrine also gives access to Archons, but that's still a ways off. And Firefly, there's a window. There's a window where he can break MaxPax with their stasis traps. Does he bait them out? He baits out one. Baits out one stasis. There's more behind this. Firefly, he has potential. Does he notice? He does. Oh, nice snap on the Observer. There's 2 stage traps left. He baits them out. 1 stage trap remaining. Where are those Zealots? Yeah, boys are being pulled. Charge ults are coming in. They have to commit. More Zealots on the way. And Firefly, he needs those warp ins. He needs those reinforcements as quickly as possible. There's still that stasis trap. Zealots are going down. There's not enough of them. Firefly, he's got 1,000 minerals. We need to warp in. He needs to warp in. Zealots peel off into the mineral line. Gateway is buying, sorry, the cannon's buying time. As Firefly, he has the high ground. He does outposition MaxPax. Yeah, Zealots break through into the middle line. Probe's going to be going down. MaxPax getting pulled apart. And Firefly, he's pulling this off. He's doing it. Yeah, he has the high ground. Again, MaxPax just cannot push in. Likewise, the natural base is falling. Massive pickoff. There are DTs to defend. Meanwhile, Firefly does get the Observer. Observer's on the way. He already has 2. He has 1 with the main army. That's all he needs. Just 1 with the army. As long as he doesn't lose it. Likewise, zoning MaxPax away. There's Revelation. Observer has to pull back. Pulls away the Observer. Firefly is so close to breaking MaxPax. At the same time, DTs are across the map. Probes are also going down. Firefly's attention being split. Splits up the attention. Oh, the Observer does get away. Just barely. Yeah, nice control there from Firefly. Takes down the DTs. Gets 1. Gets 2. Oh, the Prism. Prism goes down. No more reinforcements. No more reinforcements. But again, the natural should fall. And yeah, Firefly's done it. He's done it. GG gets called. He does pull off the upset as he almost got the 3-0, went all the way to the ace match with Firefly. He will take the series 3-2, becoming this week's WardiTV Monday champion. GG. Whew. Oh my god. Very close, very clutch. GG, well played. Firefly does take it in the end. Again, we spoke about it. Firefly, he did have that big power spike with charge with those Zealots. You saw how well they were able to trade against the Stalkers, get into the bases. Remember, that was a 3-base all-in out of Firefly MaxPax. He did not confirm the all-in. He did not confirm the gases, so he was caught with his pants down. The Dark Shrine could have given access to Archons, which definitely would have helped, but it was a later Dark Shrine, and of course it was not intended for Archon production, as MaxPax, he was just getting ready for a longer game. He was macroing, he was taking gases, he was probing up, he was getting ready for a longer game state, but Firefly had other things in store. Went for the all-in, outpositioned MaxPax. GG. Whew, GG, well played. Congratulations here to Firefly. My condolences to MaxPax. Again, today MaxPax had a bit of a rougher tournament. We did see both Nice and Firefly threaten MaxPax and bring him down with their own unique builds. Again, Firefly, it's been a while since we really featured him. Of course, there was definitely some controversy around Firefly, unfortunately. That was last year in regards to the Chinese scene, in regards to loaning money and not necessarily, or having some money disputes with another person. I did reach out to the Chinese community about that, and they confirmed that there was nothing else like nefarious behind it or anything like that, or at least nothing confirmed. Which is why Firefly was able to play in Kung Fu Cups and other Chinese tournaments like SC Boy and all that. Like they were cool with it. So it's like, oh, okay, cool. It's good to hear. So yeah, it's great to see the return of Firefly. Again, he's been popping up every now and then. He's not playing full time like he used to be. Like, there was a lot of hype around Firefly. Like, Firefly was like, I was a big Firefly fan coming into 2023, even coming in towards the beginning of 2024 as well. And then of course he stepped away, he stopped competing. He's been away for a time. Now he's back. Now he is back, at least for the time being. We'll see if he commits. Regardless, GG, well played. With that, congratulations to Firefly. My condolences to MaxPax, as I'm sure MaxPax he can of course compete again tonight in the Monday Night Weekly. I don't know if that's actually happening. Like, again, because so many players are traveling, it's possible that some of these weeklies might not actually run. Let's see. Okay, it looks like the Monday Night Weekly is not scheduled. This week. And I don't think the Pegasaur Monday is either. Hold on, let me just double check the Discord. Announcements. Okay, it is. The Pegasaur Tuesday is confirmed. Okay. Fair enough. So it looks like it is now no longer the Pegasaur Monday. It's going to be the Pegasaur. I mean, technically, the Pegasaur Cup. It's no longer tied to a day of the week. So the Pegasaur Cup is going to be on Tuesday/Wednesday instead. So that's going to be in a couple of days. You know what that means? That means our next broadcast is going to be the KSL. Let's go. Let us switch our scenes over and catch up on our schedule to catch up on our bracket. Bam. There we go. We have our schedule here. Now, this has not been updated. This is last week's schedule. But you can see Wednesday, 9 a.m. The times are still applicable. The events are not. Just to reiterate, all this GSL casting was last week. We did a bunch of GSL casting last week, and of course RSL as well. But we just wrapped up with the Monday broadcast of the WardiTV Monday, and tomorrow at 9 a.m. KST, that is going to be 10 a.m. AEST. That's going to be in 10 hours. In 10 hours time, this channel is going to be live with what? With the Korean StarCraft League. Basically, the last KSL we did miss. I believe we were casting something else at the time. We were casting OSC. That's it. We were casting the OSC midseason playoffs. So we weren't able to cover the KSL. So we do have the replays. So we're going to be covering and catching up on the Korean StarCraft League, the most recent KSL. That is going to be, again, in 10 hours time. Then on Wednesday, you can see the Pegasaur Monday. That should still be there as well, scheduled to cover Pegasaur Monday. Also, I should emphasize that we're going to be casting the May Mayhem group stage day 1 Tuesday afternoon. That's going to be at 9 p.m. KST. So we do have the May Mayhem cast there as well. So we have 2 casts tomorrow. Again, we're just jumping back on that horse in regards to covering non-stop StarCraft. It's going to be KSL on Wednesday, and we were going to be covering the Pondcast on Wednesday as well, as you can see there at that time. But the EWC qualifiers, I think, are clashing with that. Again, the EWC qualifiers, they stuck up on us. So this week, we might not actually have the Pondcast. We're going to have to cancel some of our regular events. So we're probably going to reschedule the Pondcast. We're probably going to reschedule K-Cup. And we're probably not going to play Final Fantasy this week because I think it's like 4 or 5 days straight of EWC qualifiers. Like it's a lot of qualifiers over the next couple of days. Over the next week, I should say. So a lot of qualifiers are going to be taking place. Of course, we are going to be covering those qualifiers as well. Likewise, what else when it comes to our schedule? We do have the May Mayhem playoffs on over the weekend. Sorry, over this week as well. GSL, true. GSL is also this week. Season 2, we already covered the qualifiers, but GSL Season 2 proper does begin this week, and we do have a replay cast scheduled for the 30th. That's going to be on Friday. So Friday is going to be GSL. We have MSO over the weekend. We have GSL on Sunday. We have a lot of content. but yeah, the EWC is what really caught us off guard. So we have to plan around the EWC qualifiers. We have to schedule all them in, and we'll be trying to cast as much of the EWC as we can. We might have to reschedule MSO over the weekend as well. So a lot of rescheduling to accommodate for EWC, but there's a lot this week. There is a lot this week. GG, well played. With that, thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. Again, a bit of a smaller or a bit of a shorter broadcast this time. Bit of a shorter broadcast, but I'm more than happy about that. Like, again, like, it was a really intense weekend, so I'm more than happy to just take a bit of a break. I say that I have a lot of VODs to edit. I have to edit a lot of VODs. We have a lot of work to catch up on. I have to schedule a bunch of VODs as well, so I'm probably just going to get to that. And then, of course, wake up for the KSL cast. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. We do appreciate it. And we'll see you guys tomorrow for the KSL and for the May Mayhem group stage as well. So thanks so much. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Until then, stick around. We're going to be giving another StarCraft stream a raid. You can also follow us on all the social medias as well. Let's have a look here. You can also follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube, Discord. We do stream on a daily basis here on the CranKy Ducklings, everywhere on all things CranKy Ducklings. And also support us on Patreon. Our Patreon does fund our tournaments. We do host events on a regular basis. Patreon is the place to be. Otherwise, we're going to be giving someone else a raid. Who is live at the moment? Who is live? Who can we raid? I know a lot of people are traveling, so I don't know if anyone's streaming at the moment. Let's have a look. Strange is streaming. We have Strange. I might just raid Strange. I don't Is anyone else streaming StarCraft? I don't notice any. Or I don't recognize anyone. We'll give some love to Strange. It's a strange guy, but you know, we love him for it. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. Thanks for support, and we'll see you guys next time. Oh right, the replay pack of DreamHack Dallas was released, but it's an incomplete replay pack. It doesn't cover the group stage. I believe it only covers the qualifying matches from the group stage and the playoffs. So I don't think we're gonna do any DreamHack Dallas replay coverage because I think we casted everything. I think for the most part everything's been casted. I think Solar versus Serral, only 2 games of that series was casted, so I'll double check. I'm gonna have to cross-reference what we casted and what was on the mainstream, and everything else we might do one like DreamHack Dallas cast to wrap up some of those matches, but a lot of it we already covered and we already casted live at the time, so we'll do like a bit of a catch-up replay cast at some point, as I'm sure there's like a couple of series here that we missed. So we'll catch up on that. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for support. We'll see you guys next time. Until then, ciao. Bye, ciao. See you next time. See you tomorrow. See you then.